Here we go. Zaka in the offensive end, gonna be over there to middle stat, over to Zaka. Zaka, he shoots, he scores! That's a trick! Didn't have to go, face off, and the gloves drop immediately. We got a fight breaking out here. Kostelic giving some punches up against Sam Carrick. They're right at the center ice. Gonna be a big shot and a big win by Mark Kostelic as he gets ripped down by Carrick after the fight. That's gonna be an added penalty. That's gonna be a game misconduct, I think, for Carrick. And the Devils are going to clear that zone over to the near side. Here comes Heischer on a chance. A shot denied. Rebound shot. What a save by Carter Hart. Waiting for it is, I believe it's going to be, it's not going to be Marner in front of the net. Here comes a chance. A shot. He scores! This is going to be Paul Cotter on the first shootout. Taking it in towards the net. Going to make a shot. Deflected by Carter Hart. Jesper Bratt moving in. He takes a shot. He scores! Jesper Bratt gets the first goal of the shootout. The Devils have a 1-0 advantage. Here we go, Mark Stone. No attempts this season on the shootout. Here's his first. Moving into the near side, over to the far. He shoots and it's gloved by Jake Allen. Mitch Marner, ready to go. Taking it in from the near side, working around with speed to the far. He goes, and he scores! Oh no, did he double shoot it? Yeah, it's correct. Gloves immediately coming off. We got a fight right here at the beginning. Who is that? Zadorov and number 47, that's Struble, going at it right at the opening whistle. And here we go, Zadorov laying a couple of fists, and it's going to be back against the boards on the near side. A couple of fists going either direction. Still clinging on to each other over on the far side. Now they're all the way back into the Bruins offensive end. Still on their feet, still laying punches. Helmet comes off of Struble, and still laying some punches to Zadorov. And now Struble trying to get back in this fight, but Zadorov is absolutely dominating it, and they break it up on the boards. Up to the top of the zone, over to Mantha, intercepted, and here comes a breakaway chance for the Flames. He shoots, he scores. Connor Zary getting the first goal of the game on a breakaway after an interception. There's the goal horn. There it is. I was wondering when that was going to proc. But yeah. Gonna take the draw and gonna be won by the Pens. That's gonna be Kindle. Up to the near side to Shea. Shea working down low. Gonna try and take it behind the net. Trying to create some room. Over to the far side. To the top of the zone. Over to St. Ivan. He sends a shot. Deflected. Oh, I thought that was in the net. It went over to the far side. Battling down low in front of chance. A shot. He's gone!
He will not be denied twice. He will not be denied twice.
Billy Quinn, let's frickin' go. That's how you do it, my boy. Passing back over to Novak. Novak taking it around over to the far side. Gonna try and connect with Chinikov if he can. But here we go. Oh, boy. Here we go over to the near side. Carlson passing across. A chance. A shot. He's done. Let's win. Let's frickin' go, baby. Save the kid.
Took it on his took it on his shoulder and said, "Let me just clear this one."
That is how you do it. Send the kid clearing the Penguins bench. Let's let that horn sing, baby. That is how you do it. The Pens pulling a comeback win off and not blowing it. That is how you frickin' do it. That's how the Pittsburgh Mother Loving Penguins do it. If they keep playing like this, we'll be covering Penguins hockey late into the summer. Let's go! The Pittsburgh Mother Loving Penguins getting a big overtime goal. Ready to roll. Face off in the Pens offensive end. Going to be taken back by the Red Wings. Sider along the far side boards. Up through the far side. Battling into the neutral zone. Taken back by the Pens to the near side. Here comes Crosby. Looking to pass it across. He's a chance. A shot. He's gone! Run! Russ! Front of the net, working with that puck, clearing it out at Kindle. A chance, a breakaway. He shoots. He scores! Igor Chinikov! Getting his first goal as a Penguin. Let's go, baby! 2-0 Penguins. Woo! Let's go! That is how you freaking do it. How's it going, everybody? I am Jason of JasonsRealm here tonight, bringing you live play-by-play coverage and reactions to the St. Louis Blues taking on the Los Angeles Kings. A big must-win game in the Western Conference playoff race. This race is getting tight for the last wild card spot. Maybe the last two, but it would take a mini miracle. It would take Utah just having a complete and utter collapse. But entering tonight, that last wild card spot is held by the Nashville Predators at 77 points on 74 games. The Kings control their destiny over the Predators, though, because the Kings have 76 points on 73 games, so they got a bit of a higher point potential, but it all starts here with a win over St. Louis. As for the Blues, they may be down, but they are not out. They have been battling all season. They have been back from the brink. People were considering them all but eliminated at one point in the season, and here they are, April 1st, 2026, and they find themselves 4 points out of a playoff spot with 2 games in pocket on that current last spot. So overall, a really good situation here coming up for the St. Louis Blues. Can they go on a miracle run like they have on years past? Again, it all starts right here, right now, tonight. Can the Blues get it done? It's going to be a fun one. Hopefully a good, tight, back and forth game. Both of these teams know what's on the line, so hopefully they will be all out and giving it their all tonight. Looking into our goalie matchup real quick. Let me pull the game up on ESPN so I can get the goalie stats. Oh my gosh, Vancouver is putting BTA on Colorado. Wow, that's crazy. We'll be updating you on all the other NHL action going on tonight. We got 2 other games going on right now. But in net for the St. Louis Blues is going to be number 50, Jordan Binnington. On the season so far, Binnington is 12, 19, and 6. A .333 goals against average and an .873 save percentage with 1 shutout. Looking at his last 5, though, he only has 1 loss, and that one against Winnipeg, who's been up and coming as of late. The other wins were to San Jose in overtime, Carolina, Vancouver, Toronto. So not the greatest... not the greatest set of teams to beat, but Carolina in there does say a lot. As for the Los Angeles Kings, they're going to be rocking Anton Forsberg. His season stats are 11, 11, and 5, a .281 goals against average and a .903 save percentage with 2 shutouts on the year. However, on his last 5, he is 1-4, with the 1 win coming to the Blue Jackets with losses to Colorado, New Jersey, Buffalo, and Utah. Not great either, giving up how many goals in each? Let me go ahead and take a look. Well, the Utah game, he came in afterwards. He didn't start. But in his last 4 starts, he has been giving up, 10, 15 goals in his last 4? Oh, man. Are we wanting the Blues to win? Honestly, this I could go either way on. I want to see Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty get another ring if it can't be the Penguins or the Oilers. But also, I got to pull for the Blues for John. So this is a totally neutral game for me. 2 teams, I can sit back and enjoy the game because... whoever wins, I win. Whether it's the Blues, whether it's the Kings, it don't matter for the Penguins. And, overall, either of these teams I'd like to see go on a run. But the baseball stream went pretty well. We pulled in more viewers than I was expecting earlier. The Pirates won a whopping 8-3. That means your Pittsburgh Mother-Loving Penguins are going to win 8-3 tomorrow night against the Lightning. Put it on your calendars because the last 3 days, a Pittsburgh team has won by the final score of 8-3. The Penguins on Monday night. On Tuesday night, it was the Pirates. Today, it was the Pirates again. And tomorrow, the Pirates don't play, but the Penguins do. But we got opening puck drop, and the Kings win it over to the far side to the offensive end. Tied up into the corner with Theo Lindstein, trying to move it around. Back in behind the net of Benny Boy to the near side, where Colton Parayko trying to move it out. Kept in at the top of the zone by Brian Dumoulin. Back down low for Kopitar. Sending it around in front. Get back into the corner. Over to the near side. Trying to punch it to the top of the zone. Wing to wing from Edmondson. And a shot towards the net taken back by Parayko. The Blues trying to move it out of the zone. They will. Puck goes loose and taken by St. Louis up through center. Dumping it into the offensive end. Backing around to the far side, the Kings, that's Brant Clark now over to the near side on a pass, moving it up from Byfield into the offensive end. The Blues kick it right back out. And we got a whistle for a puck out of play. All right, real quick, I did promise it earlier, around the rest of the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks, man, 3-1 over the Avs with 5:11 to go in the first period. The goal for the Avs being Nathan McKinnon, whereas the Canucks, Bluger, Sasson, and DeBrusque getting the goals. So here we go, a far side circle draw here in a tight playoff race. Here we frickin' go. Face-off going to be won over to the near side. The Blues, Mailou passing it into the offensive end from Snuggerud. Down low into the corner for Broberg. Over to the far side. Shot! Not going to go. Over to the near side. Played Snuggerud. Shot goes wide left. And over to the far side, taking Broberg up towards Mailou. Nobody home. Logan Mailou taking it to the far side. Broberg into the offensive end to Snuggerud. Driving in towards the net. Losing the puck, but we got a penalty on the Kings. And that means the St. Louis Blues are going to get the game's first power play as Brian Dumoulin's going to the sin bin for the guilty party on that one. Yes, McKinnon, I believe it was got his 50th goal for the second time in his career. Nice. Yeah, McKinnon's just like lighting up the league like crazy, bro. He is like the league right now. But here we go, Dumoulin getting 2 minutes, so we got a St. Louis Blues power play. And ready to roll now from the far side circle. Face-off won by the Blues, Mailou, top of the zone. Driving the net to the far side, Kyrou centering towards Parayko, or not able to connect. Cleared out, giving chase, Logan Mailou trying to beat out the speed and trying to take it around to the near side, back down low. Over to the far side they go. That's Pius Suter with the puck now. Back over to Mailou. Moving it up through center. And now passing back to Kyrou. Kyrou looking for some help over to Buchnevich. Back down, trying to hit Dvorsky. Could not connect. Tied up into the corner, Buchnevich and Dvorsky. Puck comes loose by Suter. Top of the zone, Mailou shoveling it towards the net. Gets cleared back out. And here comes a chance and a penalty on the Blues. Dalibor Dvorsky gonna get 2 for tripping. And a little bit of extracurricular after the play getting involved for the Kings. But let's see, we're going to have a minute 14 now, a 4-on-4 before shifting into a Los Angeles Kings power play. But that's a good penalty, though. That is a good penalty to take. That trip was essentially what saved a breakaway. Although, I don't know, he might have lost his edge a little bit more so than anything. No, that's not a penalty. The refs just... It was a shove. It was a check. If he got 2 for tripping... Whoa! Oh, never mind. It's holding. Okay. I was about to say, that ain't tripping. And that's a bit... I don't know that's a hold, but... Wow. So here we go. Ready to rumble. Face off on the near side. Quinn Byfield ready to take the draw. And we'll see here. 1:13 of 4-on-4 time. And waiting on the draw here. Byfield gonna get the boot. Taking it now is going to be off the stick of, I believe that's going to be Trevor Moore. And he's going to be up against Robert Thomas for the draw. Parayko back there as well. And waiting on the draw, won by the Kings, top of the zone, cycling Drew Doughty, shot, rebound, taken by the Blues, over to the near side, down low, from the stick of Fowler to the far side, moving it up now through the neutral zone, trying to punch it to the offensive end, off of Robert Thomas, taken back in the offensive end, we got a whistle, it's gonna be, oh, wow. Didn't think that would be anything, but DJ Smith as the Kings interim head coach, replacing Jim Heller. He's 5-5-4 in his second game of a 7-game homestand for the Los Angeles Kings. All right. So here we go, waiting on the draw, and the draw going to be won there by the stick of, that was Berggren, and the Blues back into the defensive end to the near side. Jordan Kyrou with the puck. Leaving it near side for Fowler. Up through center ice, back into the defensive end they go. Moving it out now, the near side, Pareko into the offensive end, he dumps, and there's a whistle for the offside. All right, a lot of stop and go here on the game so far. Looking at Jim Montgomery, 11-3-2 since the Olympic break in his first full season as the Blues head coach. And here we are, ready to rumble. Blues, I believe, are slightly favored on this one, by the way. But here we go, near side draw. And taking it is going to be... That's going to be number 40. That's Joel Armia. So here we go. Face off won by the Blues. Back into the near side, into the defensive end. Trying to wrestle it away, and it's going to be taken Snuggerud. Centering pass into the offensive end. Driving down Broberg. Shot not going to go. Over to the near side, along the boards, down low, Snuggerud. Passing up, shot from the point, not going to go. To the far side, Broberg sends it into the corner. Backing around to the near side, Snuggerud over to the far side, along the circle. Top of the zone, cycling around. Passing to the far side, and driving the net, Mailou losing the puck. Now back over by the circle. We are now on to the power play. Oh, not the 4-on-4, the power play for the Kings. 40 seconds to go of power play time. The Kings with it now in their own end for Clark. Moving that puck around the far side. Up through center towards the offensive end. The Kings are going to take it. Over to Anze Kopitar along the boards. Sending it from that circle. Tied up with a couple of Blues players. Puck comes loose. Back to center ice. Got to chase it down now. Over to the near side. That's Panarin. Over to Laferriere. And taken back by Pavel Buchnevich, clearing the zone. The Kings get it back to the near side for Artemi Panarin. Over to the far side, driving down low. Back to the near side, Kopitar. Kopitar, top of the zone. That's going to be off of the stick of Kempe as the power play expires. The Kings still having that offensive presence, though. Over to the far side, the puck gets cleared out. The Blues trying to work a breakaway out, not quite able to, though. And taking it out off the near side is Mikey Anderson. Up through center, the Blues taking it back. Through center ice now to the far side towards the offensive end. Not quite able to control it. And they'll heave it in there. Shot towards the goal. Not going to go. And to the far side, getting cleared out now. The Blues taking it back at center ice. That's Broberg over to Hull. Over to the near side. Trying to find how they're going to move it. Wing to the far side. Up through center they go. Near side now driving the net. Shot going to get deflected. That was off of Holloway. Over to the far side and frozen by Forsberg. All right. So we are rolling here. We are rolling. Okay. So here we go. Taking there at Byfield. Taking a look at him on the ice for the Kings. And here we go. Thomas against Byfield for the draw. And the draw going to be won by the Blues from the point. Shot goes wide of the net. Over to the near side. The Kings getting possession. Clearing it up through center into the offensive end. Chasing it behind the net of Bennington to the far side. He leaves it. Now moving it up the far side boards from Holloway. Up through center they go to the near side. Shot gonna send it back in behind the net. Over to the far side, down low. Working it around now. That's gonna be Shen, I believe. Over to the far side again. Moving it around, top of the zone to the point to the near side, down low. Or not Shen. I don't know why I said Shen. That was Thomas. But over to the far side to the point. And the Blues to the near side. Not able to control it is Pareko. And moved the other way by the LA Kings into the offensive end. Trying to send it around over to the near side. Taken back by the stick of Pareko. Taking it now over to the near side. We haven't seen Won't You Be My Neighbors yet, though. As the Blues are moving it up through center to the offensive end. They'll send it behind the net of Forsberg. No icing. Over to the far side. Cleared out by Clark. Trying to move it back down for Clark. Over to the near side. Now he's going to clear the zone. Over to Panarin. Oh my gosh. And into the offensive end, the Kings from the point. Panarin not able to control it. Here come the Blues into the offensive end. That's going to be off of the stick of Kyrou. From the circle, losing possession to Artemi Panarin, clearing the zone, but not quite. Kyrou driving from the point. Shot gets deflected wide right. Over to the near side, Kyrou to Dalibor Dvorsky. Loose puck again along the boards, taken by Kyrou. Over to Dvorsky. Kyrou down behind the net, trying to center pass in front, and goes back to the far side. Shot, not going to make it to the net. And the Kings get it back over to the far side with Anze Kopitar. The Blues get it back out of their own end, back into the offensive end, driving down low, shot kicked away. That shot by Jonathan Berggren. Over to the point, the Blues working with it. Shot by Berggren, goes wide. Mailou on the puck, wraparound denied. The Kings getting possession back. Big check in front of the net, shot! What a chance for the Blues, but they couldn't capitalize. And the Kings are going to clear the zone. Taken back by Broberg over to the far side. Moving it now across to the near for Berggren. Clearing it up, and the Kings get it back. Wing to the far side there from the stick of... That was right. And into the offensive end they'll go. I got some stuff from the Penguins by a famous player. That's awesome. That's awesome, AC Hunting and Fishing. How you doing, bro? So here we go. The Blues up through center to the offensive end. Down into the corner now, circling around now from the point to the near side. Shot by Parayko. Not going to make it. Rebound chance. Shot. Shoveling it towards the net. And what a nice effort there by Forsberg to stay laser focused on that puck. On the nice shot by Toropchenko. A nice opportunistic shot. Okay. They're taking away their first intermission here, their first little commercial break at just under 12 to go in the first period, 11:51. Still nothing on the scoreboard, but there have been plenty of chances at both ends. Although I do gotta say, the St. Louis Blues are coming out like the hotter team right now. So it is going to be interesting to keep an eye on. Okay. So we shall see here. Take a look over here. Around the rest of the NHL, the Avs getting another goal out by Landeskog to make it a 3-2 game against the Canucks at the end of one. Meanwhile, just under 12 to go as well in the Sharks-Ducks game, and Will Smith putting the Sharks on the board 1-0 over Anaheim. Another big game out west over there. Again, no elimination scenarios tonight or clinching scenarios for anyone for whether it be, playoff scenarios like, division standings, wild card implications, none of that. None of that, but still a big game. You got Crosby signed and Malkin and Lemieux and Younger. Nice. Sounds like they're pumped, the Blues. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, actually, I'll be right back. I gotta grab something. I gotta show you guys because my buddy was able to hook me up with something today, real quick. It is this. This duffel bag. Apparently. Now, I don't know the validity of the story, but apparently Gensel made a trip to my buddy's college and they ended up getting a signature on this duffel. Not verified. I can't really verify it myself. It looks like it. But again, still a cool piece there if it is actually legit. It's kind of faded, kind of hard to see, but right there is a signature on the bag. So it's a really cool piece of memorabilia. Even if not, it still is interesting. We're going to leave that down there. But here we go. The Blues over to the far side, sending it behind the net now to the near side along the boards. Moving it up, the Kings. Up through center they go to the offensive end. Off of the stick of LaFerriere to the near side, down low. Tied up for that puck and cleared out through center. The Blues, that's Snuggerud. Over to the near side, driving into the corner. Snuggerud losing it around the near side, and the Kings flipping it out the other way. Man, those also got Kendall. Nice. But yeah, my buddy said that he didn't have a need for the duffel because he has a new duffel. So he's like, hey, if you want it, great. If not, this is going to Goodwill. I'm like, I'll take it. Even if it's not real, I mean, it still is a duffel. But I'm not going to be using it as a duffel. But here we go to the far side corner. The Blues trying to take it back in the offensive end. And moving it around to the near side. We got a whistle. It's going to be, is it a penalty coming up? We'll see. Kyrou kind of dicing it up with the refs a little bit there near Joel Edmondson. As he is getting ready to go to the sin bin, it looks like. And I also got a signed pucks from the championship. Nice. Actually, that's what these are right here. These are ECHL players that are on these pucks signed. This one, I believe, one of them is Garcia, and one of them is, yeah, I believe that one is the goalie Gauthier. And then this is by the captain there for the Wheeling Nailers, Garcia. Back over to the far side, the Wheeling Nailers, the ECHL affiliates of the Penguins, 2 layers below Pittsburgh. But here we go, the Kings taking a shot, goes wide and taken by the Blues into the offensive end. Finley with the puck. Over to the far side, behind the net, tied up now to the near side, taken back to the top of the zone. Shot goes off a body. That chance there for the Blues by Hull. Now into the offensive end, the Kings gonna get it taken back. Hull moving it the other way. Up through center to the offensive end, sending it into the corner and around to the near side, taken back by Brian Dumoulin. Moving it up, wing to the far side, through center to the offensive end, losing it, taken by Cam Fowler and the Blues. Over to Hull on the near side, trying to move it up, loose puck again, 2 bodies collide, and it's going to be taken. The Kings with a chance, driving the net, shot, and not going to go. Up to the top of the zone, sending it back down again towards the net, but Binnington is a stone wall. A nice opportunity there for the Kings on the collision and take back. But man, what an effort there. Let me actually join up and ping PDF. Let me just see. Because he might join us tonight. Also got 4 signatures on 1 baseball from the Pirates. That's awesome. Actually, as a kid, I got, I believe it was Andrew McCutcheon and Jordy Mercer to sign a baseball. Because my parents won tickets that they couldn't use, so I went with a neighbor. They were like 4 rows off the field, right in line with the third base bag. So I was able to go up with a baseball pregame and like ask some of the players to sign it. So I got Andrew McCutcheon. Just to date how old it was McCutcheon's first stint with the Pirates, way long ago, and Jordy Mercer. That baseball, I actually want to find out how old that is now. I'm actually kind of curious. Let me first off message PDF. Oh, wanna join up? Man, oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. Let me see. Jordy Mercer. When was he with the Pirates? Let me see. Oh no, he last played in 2021. Okay. Stats. That was 2012 to 2018. Andrew McCutcheon. Let me see. Andrew McCutcheon was with the Pirates 2009 to 2017. But I want to say it was like the early 2010s. Oh man, I'm determined to find this now. Let me see. I am really trying to find this here. It wasn't 2018. No. Was it? No, it wasn't 2018. Might have been 2010. No, because Jordy Mercer wasn't a Pirate. It was somewhere in the early 2010s. Either way, neither here nor there. We're back in the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Ready to roll to the near side, and the Blues moving it into the offensive end, near side along the boards. Berggren sending it down low into the corner. Tied up for that puck is going to be Otto Stenberg. To the near side, tied up with Drew Doughty. Throws just like a vibe, Drew Doughty, and the puck gets cleared out. Taken back off the stick of Lindstein for the Blues in their own end. To the offensive end, driving it around the near side in the corner. Tied up for that puck again to the point. And a shot goes wide. Rebound chance. Flipped up and poked back out the other way. Coming up through to the offensive end. And the Kings lose it again. Back in behind the net to the near side. Moving it out the other way. And the Kings will take it back at center. Back into their own end to the near side. Through center to the offensive end. Behind the net, a Benny boy who's going to play it to the near side. The Pirates smoke the Reds. Oh, yeah, we were live for that earlier today, bro. We were here earlier today for that game. That was crazy. That was freaking mad. 8-3, a 4-run top of the ninth. As we got another tie up in the near corner behind the left side or right side of Bennington to the top of the zone to the far side, driving it towards the net. Puck gets bounced around, and behind Bennington it goes again to the far side. Over to the near side now, clearing it up through center to the offensive end. Robert Thomas down low, looking for some help, not getting a lot. A lot of these Kings out there on a minute shift. LaFerriere, the only one who's fresh. Over to the near side, down low, the Kings got to clear the zone so they can go for a change. And they can't quite clear just yet. But now they're going to get their chance partially to do a change of a couple more players as Kyrou drives the net kicked away to the far side. Along the boards now in the far corner, trying to drive it towards the net, taken to the near side by the Kings. And that's now going to be off the stick of Trevor Moore, clearing it up in towards the offensive end. And it's going to be a Kings icing. Yeah, that was an incredible game earlier, bro. I mean, that was awesome to watch. Absolutely freaking awesome. Man. Let me go ahead and take a look here, see how that's doing. Yeah, Penn smoking the Red Wings. I mean, it is a good time to be a Pittsburgh sports fan. I gotta say. Except for the Steelers. I still think they're a few years off because they went from Mike Tomlin to Mike Tomlin. But I hope I'm proven wrong. But either way, far side face-off won by the Kings down low to the near side. Trying to kick it up the other way, and it's still back into the corner to the far side, taken by Mikey Anderson. The Kings moving it up now. Was good, Craig. I've seen your content about our Lord and Savior. Well done. Oh, thank you, Craig. It's something I want to try to do, especially now that I have... Oh, wait, intercepted! Driving the net, saved by Bennington. Okay. But yeah, it's something I've been wanting to do a lot more now that I have just recently had a change in my job situation. So it's something I want to be able to do a bit more consistently because right now I'm in the middle of leading a Bible study and trying to keep these streams going because this is the bread and butter of the channel and it's something I would love to be able to do as like a job if, you know, it ever makes financial sense. But that's definitely something I'm going to try to do a lot more of now that I have the extra time. So I'm definitely taking advantage of the making the most of the situation that some might consider to be a bad situation. I'm making the most of it. I'm doing everything I can to turn a setback into a setup for my comeback. As the Blues trying to clear the zone to the far side, tied up for that puck, and the Kings wrestling it away to the point, but intercepted and kicked back out the other way. And favorite jerseys from the Pens, I gotta say, the Classic Black does have its nice look. The Winter Classic is a nice little pop of blue. But I gotta go with probably the old Penguin logo, the old black Penguin logo on the jerseys. I'll have to pull it up later. But over to the near side, Torpchenko in his own end, moving it out the other way potentially, but the Kings trying to wrestle it back. The Blues back into their own end. It looks like this game has transitioned to a Kings game as of late. As the Blues are now going to move it out the far side to the offensive end, they'll send it back over, played by Forsberg to the near side. Along the boards, cleared up and through the near side into the offensive end. What's good, John? Into the corner goes Anze Kopitar, tied up with Colton Parayko and Dalibor Dvorsky. To the far side, Kempe sends it, tied up again. In there's Otto Stenberg. Now into the corner, down low to the near side, centering pass for the Kings, and frozen up by Benny Boy. 5:30 to go here in the first period, and they're going to be stepping away for another commercial break. Taking a look around the rest of the league, 5:56 to go in Sharks Ducks, and the Sharks still just up 1-0. And Canucks and Avalanche, the Canucks of all teams are beating the Avalanche in what is a big game if the Avalanche want to clinch their division soon. Now, I like the black white ones that have the Pittsburgh diagonal on the front. Those aren't bad, but the ones that I really like here, let me pull up. Oh my gosh, let me see. Where is it here? Yes, I'm looking at those ones in like the 1989 or 1998 to 2002, right before they went to like the fake gold or whatever you want to call it. Like they went away from the gold to the like the off tan-ish. Either that or even the away jerseys from that era were pretty sick as well. I saw streaming schedule. Panther play Penguins twice. Yes, they do. They played over Easter weekend, and it is home, not a home and home. They are both in Pittsburgh. Although I do gotta say, the 2018-2019 jerseys that are all black with the yellow, like it's all just black and yellow, those are pretty nice too. But overall, though, I gotta say, I like the black ones that has like the partial like steel color and partial yellow color on opposite sides of the Penguin emblem. Those were nice ones. Man, but here we go. Taking a look at the fewest points to qualify for the playoffs under the current playoff format since 2013-14 was the 2015-16 Minnesota Wild at 87 points. We might break that record this year. With 8 games remaining for Nashville, they need to win 5 of 8. For the Kings, they would need to win, or that's a tie. The Kings would need to win, how many? I need 6 of 9. All these teams got to go on incredible tears in order to have us not set a new record. And those 2 Pens games with the Panthers are not going to be easy. I think the Pens get 3 points out of that pretty standardly. I mean, yeah, it's the Panthers are always deadly, but the Panthers have not been looking good this year. Especially because one of those games is going to be against Bob, who's been having a career year. If by career year, I mean, we mean like career worst year. As Snuggerud sends it to the offensive end, back on in behind the net to the far side goes Drew Doughty. And clearing it up to the near side, the Kings getting on the puck. And flipping it around from the far side, now to the point. Shot goes wide over to the far side, still maintained by Joel Armia. Taken back by the Blues, and that's going to be a trip. The Kings are going to get sent to the sin bin. That's going to be Joel Armia getting 2 for tripping, sending the St. Louis Blues on the power play. Florida? Yeah, I mean, Florida has the chance. Florida is always dangerous. But I do think the Pens get 3 points, especially the way they've been playing as of late. If they can keep that level of play up, they are going to be a deadly team that you really don't want to face. And tonight, the first time in 2 weeks, I have 0 fantasy players playing it all tonight. I got 1. My opponent has like 5. That's kind of concerning, even though I have like a 20-point lead. But here we go to the far side. Suter sending it down low. Don't want injuries? Absolutely not at this time. But Kyrou to Fowler from the point. Back to Kyrou. Driving down low. Suter back to Kyrou. Kyrou to Fowler. Fowler back over to Kyrou. Kyrou with a shot. Denied. Over to the near side. I want to see how they do tomorrow night. Absolutely. Well, hear me out. Hear me out. I know the final score of the game tomorrow night for the Penguins. It's going to be 8-3 Pittsburgh. It is going to be 8-3 because last time, or Monday, a Pittsburgh team won 8-3. Pens over the Islanders. Tuesday, a Pittsburgh team wins 8-3. Has a near side shot denied over to the far side. But Tuesday, a Pittsburgh team wins 8-3. Pirates over the Reds. Wednesday, today, a Pittsburgh team wins 8-3. Pirates over the Reds. Tomorrow, the Pirates don't play. So a Pittsburgh team that's going to win 8-3, the only team that plays is the Pittsburgh mother-loving Penguins. So it's going to be 8-3. And then on Friday, the Pirates could win 8-3 over the Orioles on the home opener. We'll have a whole week of 8-3. But over to the far side, Robert Thomas from the point, sending it down low to Won't You Be My Neighbors. Over to Snuggerud, top of the zone, Thomas. Thomas back to Broberg. Broberg looking for some help, and he's going to drive to the point, sending it down to the far side, Thomas. Thomas with his pass down to Snuggerud, trying to connect around on the far side. Looking for some help, goes to Won't You Be My Neighbors, back to Snuggerud. Back up to Thomas. Thomas with the puck. Working it around now, over to Won't You Be My Neighbors, up to Broberg. Broberg with the shot off of Won't You Be My Neighbors, and sends it to the far side corner. Yeah, that's the first time I've called Neighbors tonight, and we've been calling him a lot in that power play sequence. He's, sorry, Won't You Be My Neighbors. But here we go to the near corner, down low, over to the far side. The Kings moving it up through center. Into the offensive end, they'll flip and chasing it out to the far side, Joel Armia. Around the near corner, wrestling it away, Broberg trying to, and off a Snuggerud to the far side, through center, losing that puck. Armia getting it back, and the Kings are going to get that puck back into their own end. Back in behind the net to the far side, getting ready to move it on out. Wing to wing to the near side, Edmondson. And flipping it up into the offensive end, taken back by the Blues. There could be a team with a mid to high 90 points that don't make the playoffs. I know, that is freaking crazy. Only in the East. But over to the near side, tied up down low, moving it around to the far side, cycling it around from Bergeron up to the point, shot by Fowler, not going to make it to the net. Taken to the near side with a shot again, not going to make it to the net. Over to the near side. I had a full lineup yesterday, so I benched for Heggie. He had 2 goals, 1 assist. Oh! But here we go. 1:20 remaining in the period. Over to the far side, Fowler for the Blues. Up on into the offensive end, he'll send it. Behind the net to the near side, Brian Dumoulin. Moving it around, up for the point. Shot by Kyrou, not going to make it. Won't You Be My Neighbors had a touch on that. And now Won't You Be My Neighbors with the puck up to the top of the zone. Kyrou flips it over to Won't You Be My Neighbors, and he's going to be tied up for that puck. Coming down in front of the net, a chance, shot blocked. Backing around to the near side to the point, Broberg. Taking it down low, 48 seconds to go in the period. Driving the net, Broberg, not able to drive it. And taken back over to the far side by the Kings. Moving it up through center, passing back into the defensive end, and they go. Up through center, here comes Drew Motherlin Dowdy to the near side corner. Trying to move that puck around along the boards, up through center, Dalibor Dvorsky. Into the offensive end, 25 seconds to go. Forsberg plays it to the far side, trying to chase it around Dvorsky. And the Kings are going to move it up into the offensive end with a chance. Byfield passing in front and taken back by the Blues. 12, 11, 10. The Kings get it at center ice. 7, 6. The Blues get it back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to the end of the first with a score. The St. Louis Blues, nothing. The LA Kings, nothing. Shots on goal are 10 for the Blues and 6 for the Kings. Let's see. Do you think Vegas will get a jump start with changing coaches? I don't know. They their last game they didn't look too hot off the jump. So there are genuine concerns I have. Didn't they play yesterday? Yeah, they played yesterday, or was it 2 days ago? Whatever it was. I remember they played a little bit ago. Yeah, they looked a little rough for a moment against Vancouver. It could be what they need, but I don't know. He's not authentic, interesting, funny, entertaining, and more. He was just boring or intelligent. Oh, man. That's unfortunate, Cheryl. You see, I try to bring knowledge of the game with a perspective of analysis with fun. Just keep it light. People on YouTube, people in this generation, To say the words of some of my other friends, or to say the words of Sports Breaker earlier today, some of them have the attention span of a potato. It's unfortunate what social media has done to our attention spans, and I think that was kind of partially ruined by TikTok and Shorts, but again, I play into it because it's something that helps the channel grow, and it's a quick way of, getting some short, quick content out there. But I do think there is a negative effect to a lot of that kind of stuff, which results in shortened attention spans. So I understand that. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit there and bore you guys with, oh, well, the reason they did this was because of this hockey philosophy developed by this guy and that guy. And this coach was a founder of this philosophy, whenever you can't see the game. When you can see the game, it's different because you have something visually entertaining while they're telling you the information. Whereas on this broadcast, you're staring at my ugly mug. So the only way I keep people around is by trying to keep people entertained with the quick call and the play-by-play and all that fun jazz. Let's see, the Discord server is like blowing up right now, so let me go ahead and check that out. Let's see, NHL chat. Let's see. Ooh, you got Larkin, Zaka, Gensel, Kachuk. Oh, Kucherov. Kucherov didn't have a great one. Chris Letanger. Yes, sir. Oh, man. That's a nice lineup, though. It really is a nice lineup, except for Carter Verhaeghe balling out on the bench. Depends on a playoff game during the draft. I'll have the TV on the Pens and something else on the draft. You could have me on the draft because I'll be down in the Berg first and second day of the draft. And I'm going to try to go live from the draft. I am going to do whatever I can as long as I can get Wi-Fi around the stadium. I am going to try to go live from the draft. So keep an eye out for the first 2 days of the draft. I think we're going to try and go live if at all possible. So that'll be a fun experience. That'll be a real fun experience to be able to do that. And who knows who we meet over there? We might end up linking, it'll be pretty cool if I end up running into U-Tree or into Pittsburgh Dad or, that would be pretty cool if I just happen to run into one of those Pittsburgh legends, especially U-Tree, because I feel like I kind of fill in the gaps what U-Tree doesn't do, No shade to U-Tree. I totally get it. He drills into his videos, and that's what does well for him. So absolutely drill into it. For me, I drill into live streams because that's what I enjoy. That's where I kind of work my best, I feel like. I feel like I can make a much better live stream than I can in a video, That's why I do the videos, but I don't I pour more time and effort. I prioritize the streams over the videos because I know that my video editing is very basic, and on YouTube, you need to be almost professional to have your videos stick out unless you already have an established audience, like people Pittsburgh Dad, or even your Jacksepticeyes, your Markipliers. They already have that established audience who watches them for them because they blew up their channels during that era of the game or of YouTube. But if you're trying to get onto the scene now, you need to have the crazy editing, and that's just not my cup of tea. I'm getting real crazy by having some title cards go spinning around. That's how crazy I get with the game day vlog. But I am looking forward to getting that out. I'm going to be really pouring in a lot of work tomorrow afternoon between the next streaming schedule and the video, the game day vlog. And not benching big names. Kachuk's my lightning players. Yes, sir. I get it, bro. I get it. But yeah, definitely. I'm going to try to go live from the draft because that would just be awesome. The only problem is I pay for my data, so if I don't have Wi-Fi, I'm going to have to just record it and make a vlog. But it'll be a vlog of 2 days, so that'll be fun. Bro, Bennington. Bennington. Looking at some of Bennington getting involved with some of the other players or other goalies from the Sharks games in the past. Penguins games. Oh man, Bennington's a head case. getting into a flurry when they almost had the goalie fight, but the refs robbed us of it. Man, I bet the NHL didn't think there would be a problem with the draft because beginning of the year, they didn't think the Pens would be any good. Oh, it's not just that. I mean, the thing is, after the Pens whooped the Islanders, and after they put the beatdown on Detroit, and after everybody else lost the way they did, the Penguins have a really good shot right now of locking up second in the Metro. If they get second in the Metro, the draft is no problem. They'll be playing during the draft, but they'll be playing in New York, in Columbus. They won't be in Pittsburgh, because if they get the higher seed, they're home for the first 2 games. And the playoffs start on the 18th and 19th. So if the Penguins, play on the 18th at home, they'll play the 20th at home. They'll play the 22nd and 24th on the road. If they start the 19th, they'll play 19th and 21st at home, then 23rd, 25th on the road. So the draft will probably not be a problem, just because I think the Penguins really are in a great spot. I mean, right now for second in division, they're at a 79.6%, according to MoneyPuck. And looking at remaining schedules, the Penguins have after Tampa Bay, Tampa's like their last big test. Then they got 2 against Florida. They probably get 3 points out of that. They got the Devils. I imagine them getting 2 there. They got 2 against the Capitals. Even if they just get 2 there, that puts them at 7. And if they get 1 point against the Blues, that's 8 more points. That puts them at 100 points, right? Which means the Isles would need to make up a lot of ground, as the Isles currently are at 89 points. They need to make up 11 points out of their last 6 games. They have to win out. They have to win out to top the Penguins. The Blue Jackets they could afford 1 loss to tie the Penguins at that point. Yeah, the higher seed. Yeah, I know that. I know that, John. It's home, away, away, home, home. Or home, away, away, home. So yeah, I mean, if the Penguins get that second seed, which I think is almost assured at this point, I mean, I can see them getting 100. And even if they get 3 points against the Capitals and lose to the Blues in regulation, that still is 100 points. And that's assuming they lose to Tampa and don't go to overtime. They've gone to overtime, I think, 2 out of the 3 other times, or 1 or whatever it was. They've gone to overtime with Tampa Bay. At least a time or 2 this year. So yeah, looking at the way things sit, Buffalo hit 100. Yes, sir. But yeah, looking at the way things are, I mean, the Blue Jackets would effectively need to win out, and the Isles would effectively need to win out in order to make the Penguins probably not get the second in the division. Which means at that point, the draft is a moot point, because yeah, they're playing during the draft, but they're going to be playing in Columbus or New York or Long Island. Sorry. So I don't think that's a big problem. Although today there are no actual, let's see, Buffalo clinch playoffs yet? Not yet. Because in theory, using max points, Buffalo at 100, you could have Tampa Bay, Montreal, and Boston jump them for top 3 in the division. In theory still. And then from there, you have teams like Ottawa, Detroit, and Philadelphia. If they win out, they get 102 points. Buffalo's only at 100. So Buffalo's getting close. I think the next time they play, they have a chance at clinching. Actually, I didn't even take a look at that. Did I write that down in playoff scenarios? I don't think I did. NHL playoff scenarios. Yeah, no. So Buffalo has a chance, I believe, to clinch. Maybe. It all depends. Because Ottawa, Detroit, and Philly need to all play. And Columbus. Those 4. Well, not yet. I mean, it's gonna get a clinch. It's just a matter of when. So tomorrow, you got Ottawa. You got Philadelphia and Detroit. No, they can't clinch because somebody's going to get 2 points out of that. So they can't quite clinch yet unless they have regulation wins. Let me take a look. NHL standings. Buffalo has 38 regulation wins. Who can catch them with games left? Ottawa can. Detroit can. That puts them at 36. No, Detroit can't. So Detroit or Philly, whoever wins that, can't catch them. So they're out from Buffalo's perspective. Buffalo's going to finish ahead of them. It comes down to Ottawa and Columbus. But even Columbus can't get them. So it really comes down to Ottawa. It's winning in tomorrow. Tomorrow's winning in. Yeah. Yeah, no, tomorrow is winning in because they play Ottawa tomorrow. So that is big. That is big, big. It just hit me. Tomorrow is winning in for Buffalo. I think they're going to win. Buffalo has been in a long playoff drought. Let me go ahead and edit that real quick. I need to put this here. Buffalo clinches a playoff berth with Buffalo win over Ottawa. Because, yeah, that's a win and in. Simple as that. Or even an overtime loss, right? No, an overtime loss wouldn't do it. Because Ottawa would still retain 102 points max. But, yeah, I mean, it's winning in for Buffalo. So, let me take a look right on the rest of the other playoff scenarios. Carolina clinches as well. It's been over 10 years, I think. It's been 10 or 10 plus, something like that. Has Carolina clinched? I need to double check that. Let's see. Columbus. Let's see. How many regulation wins? Carolina only has 34. Columbus has 7. They could tie them. But regulation overtime wins, they can't. So Columbus has a tie, or Carolina has a tiebreaker over Columbus. Not Ottawa. Not Detroit. So Ottawa and Detroit both need to lose, and Carolina clinches no matter what. Does Carolina play tomorrow is the other question I have. Carolina does play. So Carolina will clinch. There's a couple ways they can clinch. Edit message. One car clinches a playoff berth with either one Carolina win / OTL or a Detroit reg loss plus who was the other one? Who was the other one that needed to lose? Columbus. Right? No. Ottawa. Ottawa was the other one. Ottawa reg loss. That's how Carolina gets in. Carolina gets any point, or if Ottawa and whatchamacallit, if Ottawa and Detroit both lose in regulation, which is possible. Since in 2018, the Pens won a series. That is true. Yeah, I think the Pens can do it. I think this team, they have the magic. They have the magic. Just like I'll tell Dad on stream. Believe, believe, believe. I got belief. Let me take a look around the rest of the playoff picture, see if anyone else can clinch. Does Tampa have tiebreakers over the big four? Columbus, Ottawa, Detroit, Philly. Let's see. Tampa has 37. Columbus can catch them, but if Tampa wins, that's 38. They can not. Ottawa, no. And they don't play Ottawa, so. Granted, you have Detroit that would get eliminated from Atlantic 2 with a loss and Tampa Bay win. Do I have that down? Do I have that down? Detroit, Atlanta. Yep, okay. I do have that scenario written down. Oh, man. Apart from that, nobody else can clinch. Penn's last cup was 2017. That is true. That is true. It's been too long. Ooh, by the way, Minnesota clinches with a Sharks loss. That's all that needs to happen. A Sharks loss or Minnesota getting a win. I need to get that down as well. Let's see. Does Minnesota play tomorrow is the question. Minnesota. They do. So either Minnesota gets a win. Okay. Sharks do play, correct? Speaking of fantasy, would you start tomorrow? Every single one of my players are playing. Ooh, I would have to take another look at that. On 2 Cups, 16-17. Yes, that was against San Jose and Nashville. I believe respectively. I think it was San Jose first, then Nashville. I think. Let me see here. Do the Sharks play tomorrow? They do. Okay. So now let me go into the scenarios. Edit message. Because Minnesota has a chance to clinch. Okay. Minnesota clinches a playoff berth with either pulling Minnesota regulation win, pulling Minnesota OTL plus, who's the other team? San Jose OTL, pulling SJS reg loss. I think that's the only thing that matters on that. Because everybody else... What about the King? Oh, wait, no, the Kings. The Kings. 26 regulation wins to 19. They have a chance to catch them on that. Do the Kings play tomorrow? Do they play back to back? That's my next question. I don't think they do. Oh, no, they do. They do. They play the Predators. Okay. I'm gonna edit message. Plus. Okay, so here we go. Over to the near side, starting off our second period. Okay. Reg loss / OTL either 4-1 or 4-2. There we go. That's better. So now we're ready to roll here in the second period. Going through all playoff scenarios that period or in that intermission. Nice. So here we go. Face off to the far side to the right of Bennington, moving it out the other way. Here come the Blues, chasing it down into the area behind Forsberg. The Blues trying to rally it to the near side. They do. Snuggerud centering pass, not able to connect with Parayko. Over to the far side. The Pens kept Flower and let Murray. Do they win a cup in 2018 or any other year after that? They might. They might have, because Fleury still had it. Little did we know that Murray was not much more than a great compliment goalie. Because he was a great compliment goalie. I mean, if you need a goalie to play, 30 games a year, something like that, 25 to 30 games a year, Matt Murray was your guy. That's why the Pens had so much success, because Murray was a great 25 to 30 game a year guy. And Fleury was able to handle the other 50. So that very well could have happened. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We can take a look at that, John. So here we go. Over to the far side to the point. And the Blues get it. Moving at the near side to the offensive end. It's Mailu. Shot over to Won't You Be My Neighbors. Over to the far side. Kyrou taking it back. John, what do you think about that nickname, by the way? I refuse to call Jake Neighbors by his name. It's Won't You Be My Neighbors over to the far side. And the Kings getting it back off the stick there of Adrian Kempe, and the Blues take it back. Over to the near side, Broberg trying to connect off of the stick of Stenberg into the corner near side. moving it around to the top of the zone and getting it cleared out, chasing it down is Hull over to the far side along the boards, driving it in the Kings, and a save by Benny Boy. Oh, John, the one thing I would consider doing, and this is what I do when I'm not sure. I look at the last 30-day stats and find the average points per game. And I play the highest average points per game players, except for players that I know I'm starting. Like my non-negotiables, Crosby, Raquel, Rust, Chinikov. Those 4, always in. So, here we go. Over to the near side, the Kings taking it now to the far side. Joel Armia sending it down low into the corner. Moving it around now, top of the zone. The Kings back on in behind the net to the near side. Trying to move it, kicked away by Bennington. Moved out now the far side with a chance. The Blues having it. Jake from State Farm called, "Won't you be my..." No, not Jake from State Farm. It's Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbors? So here we go. Over to the defensive end. The Blues have it. Toropchenko through center into the offensive end. Shot going to be gloved by Forsberg. Like a good neighbor, Jake from State Farm is there. Oh, man. Now, I like the "Won't you be my neighbors?" Oh, boy. Yeah, we don't got much on that. Let's see. I think fans made a mistake leaving for exposed. Thought that when they did it, but I understood why. Oh, it was one of the worst aged thoughts ever. I feel bad for him because after those early years, he just seemed to lose it. Now he's basically done. Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, it's just like taking your closer in the MLB. Oh, we got a bit of pushing and shoving there. More getting into it with Colton Parayko. Hold on. Ref's able to break it up. Was off a little bit of hand contact there. But yeah, oh yeah, lots of ways you can go with that. But yeah, I mean the thing is that what essentially happened, Craig, is it's just like if the Pirates would have took David Bednar and made him a starter. He's great for an inning or two at the end of the game. He's great for maybe 10% workload. You know, or if you take a bullpen guy and make a bullpen guy a starter full time. I mean, he's great for a few innings a game, but he ain't great to start every game or to be a bulk starter. And the Penguins tried to make him into a bulk starter. Nothing against Murray. He's a great guy to have in there during an injury, or at least he was. I think he partially lost his confidence and looked off a little bit after that. Yeah, I use a 30-day average for fantasy. Yeah, no, you're good, John. I always use the 30-day average and see who's doing the best as of over the last 30 days. But yeah, what essentially happened was they took a guy who is a closer and made him a starter. That's not going to go well. You're not going to throw your closer. Like the Pens aren't going to, or the Pirates aren't going to throw Gregory Soto in as a starter anytime soon. Because that's not what his job is. His job is to go out there and pitch an inning or two of quality baseball per game. And that's it. You know? Good for maybe 100 innings a year. But what the Pens try to do is they try to say, okay, you're going to be our starting now, and you're going to start 20% of the games, and you're going to get, 5 to 7 innings a game. That's not going to happen. That's not going to go well, and that's the Matt Murray experiment. The Pens thought they could make Matt Murray into a full-time starter to do 50 games a year, and he just couldn't. That's not the kind of player he was. But Byfield sitting in the sin bin, so the Blues are back on the power play. I believe it happened to Jim Rooker, the Pirates pitcher from the 70s. Great pitcher, but one day just lost it. Yeah. And what happened with Murray is that he just kind of lost it whenever he had to become a full-time starter, and that's not what he was. But Kyrou down low to Suter, back to Kyrou. Shot gets deflected. Top of the zone, that's Mailu in center ice. Yeah, exactly. That's what happened with Matt Murray. Matt Murray was a phenomenal switch guy as Buchnevich passes to Kyrou. But he was not a great guy to be 50 games a year. 25 to 30, he was great. But it just wasn't able to qualify or to transfer to a 50 game a start or 50 start a year, you know? So Mylou to Kyrou, back to Mylou, driving shot and deflected out of play. But yeah, that's kind of what we saw, and that's why Matt Murray fell off, in my opinion. He just was not built to be that high volume starter kind of guy. So, oh man, taking a look at that chance there from Buchnevich across to Kyrou, just not able to connect on that. But here we go to the near side. Won't you be my neighbors? Over to Thomas. Thomas with the puck down low. Snuggerud passing in front. Cleared out by the Kings. Is the Blues' third chance on the power play tonight, and they are 0 for 2 so far. Now to the near side. Robert Thomas into the offensive end. Driving down. Sending it back in behind the net to Won't You Be My Neighbors. Over to the far side. Thomas. Thomas looking for help, passing up, and it's going to be to the top of the zone, Broberg. Sending it along the far side to Snuggerud. Down low, taken by Robert Thomas, over by Won't You Be My Neighbors. Now up to Snuggerud. Passing to the point to Holloway. Holloway back to Broberg, back to Thomas, back to Holloway. Trying to drive the net, losing the puck, and the Kings will clear the zone. Okay. So moving it up now along the board's far side. The Blues sending it into the offensive end. It's taken back top of the zone. Broberg over to the far side. And the puck along the board. Snuggerud over to Won't You Be My Neighbors. Alongside to Thomas. Now Thomas passing in front. Shot deflected and goes wide of the net. Holloway sending it down to Won't You Be My Neighbors up to the point. And Broberg can't keep it. Back to full strength we go. The Blues now 0 for 3 on the power play. Like the additions you made for the power play and 4x4 border. Oh, I mean, I've always had that. I've always had that really since I've done hockey. But here we go, the far side, Buchnevich now to the near, and it's going to be a Blues icing. I don't want the Rangers to get first overall. Absolutely. Abso-frickin-lutely. We don't need McKenna in that division. We don't need him in that division. Let's see, what's going on over here? By the way, what'd you guys think of the streaming schedule? New look. New look and feel. I wanted to try something a little different for the streaming schedules. I wanted to try something that looked a bit more polished. So what are our thoughts so far on that? As we got a face off to the right of the goalie, Bennington. The Blues winning the draw, sending it around now to the near side along the boards. Clearing it out with a chance behind the net of Forsberg. Well, not just the sports I'm covering, but like the actual look and feel of it. Like I did something different. I don't just have the logos on the blue background now. I actually did something a little different. So here we go to the far side, driving down, cycling it around in front of the net, taken back to the top of the zone. The Kings shot by Doughty. Not going to go. Although depending on how things play out, we might be doing another matinee game on Wednesday for the Pirates. As that puck goes into the near corner, tied up for it, the Blues moving it out the other way. And moving it out into the offensive end. Taken back by the Kings, clearing it up through center into the offensive end. 2-on-1, Kempe across, broken up by Parayko, shot by Kempe. Back down low, and the Blues get it to the near side. Can you imagine my pants getting him? I would just shake my head. Oh, man. Another chance for the Kings denied wide to the near side. The Blues clearing the zone and dumped into the offensive end there off of the stick of Dvorsky. And now into the offensive end. The Kings passing across, not able to connect. Now Doughty sends it down low. Into the corner, near side, trying to drag it around. The Blues able to get to it and clear the zone. So now moving it out into the offensive end of the near side corner down low. Moving that puck around near side and cleared all the way out for a Blues icing. 13 shots on goal for the Kings, by the way, 12 for the Blues. The Kings really making a much needed adjustment here in this second period. Is hearing Mike Lang calls? That would, yeah, that was awesome. That would have been awesome, man. I've seen some of the clips. But here we go. Brant Clark ready to rumble. Top of the zone, face off here, over to the near side. The Blues trying to clear it out. Dvorsky up there to Stenberg into the offensive end, taken back by the Kings to the near side. Into the offensive end they go along the near side circle to the point. Working with it, Clark wing to wing. Shot gonna get deflected, intercepted. Moving it up the other way for the Blues, and they'll give it up. Pleasantly surprised by tonight's game. It is a nice game tonight. It really is. Low scoring, but it's a very high energy kind of game. And over to the far side, here come the Blues through center, losing control. Over to the near side, and it's taken back by the Kings. Into the offensive end, passing in front of the net to Laferriere, taken back by the Kings. Stenberg clearing it up. Toropchenko chasing it down, but the Kings get it back. Over to the near side, Armia dumping it in behind the net of Bennington to the far side. And a chance, a shot denied, loose in front. He scores, but they're waving it off. We have a goal on the board, but they are waving it off. The ref immediately coming in. No, no, no. I'm presuming goaltender interference is going to be the call. That's my thought. Let's see. Both teams aren't taking chances. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They're playing it safe. Let's see. Saying no goal. We'll have to remember when Pittsburgh almost decided to keep their indoor soccer team over the Pens. The team was called the Spirit. Oh my gosh. That would have been a disaster. Oh man. But yeah, I really like the look, though, that I came up with that streaming schedule. By the way, I do want to incorporate this a bit more often since we do have channel members. Not that anyone's required to be a channel member. Absolutely not. But if you guys do want to help support the channel and help support what I'm doing, bringing in live coverage, it does help. And it does give you access at any tier to the member votes, which will help me decide what games I cover. I have a few options for every time slot, and you guys get to choose. Channel members do. So, you know, one of the perks that you get to actually impact what I do, which is pretty cool. Again, not required, but just something to throw out there. Yeah, thank you, John. I figured it would look a little bit better just doing something a bit more professional, a bit more, you know what I mean? A bit more leveled like that. Being able to have like the actual colors of the teams, because sometimes the teams would blend into the background. Sometimes the teams just would, you know what I mean? It would just look crowded and unclean and untidy. It's more work on my end to make it, but it's something that I think really pays off. I really think it does. I really think it looks a lot better. Yeah, I mean, my goal was to make something that looks easy to understand on the eyes and is very clear. So I figured I would try the waters on it, see what it looks like. And I'm also working on something for next week, which is going to be a little bit different because I'm planning on right now nominally 12 streams. So I'm trying like actual squares and lining the squares 2 squares wide, like 2 across, and then 6 down. But yeah, Armia went in and chucked Bennington in the head. You can back was very good. I like when logos have that. Yeah, I figured it would look a little bit better. So in some cases, it looks like the Sabres just is a hole in the graph or in the chart, but it is what it is. But here we go. The first goal of the game has been cleared. So here we go, over to the far side, taken by the Blues, over to the near side along the boards. Oh, man. So flipping it up into the offensive end they go. Some do blend like Sabres and Lightning. Yeah, they do, but also, I mean, that's the best way to kind of do it, I think. But here we go to the far side along the boards, trying to send it up through center. They do. Racing into the offensive end, the Kings, and there's a whistle. Or over there talking, not sure what's going on. Kings Black just looks like the background. Oh, man. You better not have any goaltender interference on the Pens in playoffs, because they've gotten screwed on those calls. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Also made player of the month. Nice. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he was like freaking electric in the month of March. In the month of March, he was unstoppable. The best offensive defensive player in the league. So that makes total sense. But here we go. The Blues dumping it into the offensive end behind the net of Forsberg. Over to the near side. The Kings trying to get control. Then you can do black to make the yellow gold triangle stand out more. Mayhaps, but I like the yellow for the Penguins. I like the yellow background. No, from the ref who saw the head, that had no stick. Yeah. But here we go. The Blues driving in the offensive end. Buchnevich shot goes wide. And around to the far side they go again. Top of the zone. Mailou shot. And over to the near side it goes again. Driving back in behind the net to the far side. Trying to move it out. Yeah, I mean, I figure it looked a bit better. And I personally prefer the yellow over the black. But, you know. Yeah, stick was taken from right behind him. But here we go. The Kings trying to race to that puck, and the Blues are going to get it to the near side. Along the boards, Broberg up through center as we cross the halfway point in this game. Over to the far side, circling it around, down low now towards the near. And along the boards, clearing it out the other way. Up into the offensive end for the Kings, taken back by Parayko. To the far side, Dvorsky. And now into the neutral zone, still loose, taken by Dvorsky, centering pass. And over to the far side is Berggren. Passing to the near side, moving it up off of Dvorsky's stick, tied up now for that puck. And launched it up towards the offensive end, taken back and to the near corner, down low, Forsberg. Playing that puck over to the far side. Taken away by the Blues. Crashing the net. And Forsberg makes the stop. So 9:20 to go in the period. They're taking another step away for another commercial break. So it's a perfect chance for us to look around the rest of the NHL. We got two other games going on right now. Colorado. Do you want to talk about it? You want to talk about it, Colorado? 6-3, Vancouver after 2. The goals for the Canucks. Bluger got 2. Beezer got 2. Sasson got 1. And Jake DeBruce getting 1 as well. As for the Avs, McKinnon, Landeskog, and Malinsky getting 3 goals for the Avs. If Michael still a Pens coach, they probably wouldn't be where they are. Just ask. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it was getting stale. It was getting stale. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, it's incredible. By the way, Ryan Poehling getting a goal for the Anaheim Ducks, tying that game up at 1 apiece. Oh man. But let's see. We will see. So again, just taking a look here. See if there's any other newsworthy things, John X. It was time for both mics to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. The only thing is that we only got a net negative of 1 mic. Because we traded a mic for a mic. Okay. So here we go. Waiting on the draw here. And let's see it. So face off on the far side. And here we go. Won by the Blues. Sending it down low. I cannot do much of the Rangers either. Yeah, but also the Rangers are a revolving door right now. What's good, Layla? Does the Kings have a chance to win? Absolutely. The Kings have really been looking like the better team as of late, as the puck goes out of play. But as of the last, I would say 10 minutes of this hockey game, it has been like all Kings. So absolutely the Kings have a chance, Layla. Although John's saying go Blues, for me, I'm watching this game. Either way, it's a win for me because I support the Blues for John. But if it can't be the Edmonton Oilers out of the West and the Penguins out of the East, I'd rather it be the Kings out of the West. So I'd like to see Doughty and what's his name as a glove save made by Forsberg. I'd love to see, you know, Doughty and Kopitar get one more ring. So replace him with Uncle Mike from downtown. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. They replaced him with the Yinzer fan from downtown. Oh, the Kings absolutely have a chance. Absolutely. I mean, both of these teams have had great chances at both ends, but both goalies have been electric tonight. Oh yeah, the momentum as of late really has gone the Kings' way, but all it takes is one goal. The Kings actually had a goal that got taken off because of goalie interference. But the Blues out of their own end to the far side, up through center for Cam Fowler, dumping it up into the offensive end, chasing into the corner, Holloway over to the near side. Along the boards, sending it to the top of the zone from Robert Thomas, and the Kings taking it back, but got right back by Holloway, tied up for that puck. And coming loose near side. I got 4K on the Kings. That's crazy. That is crazy. Wait, the poll. Where's the poll? Where did the poll go? I have no clue where the poll went on my thing here. It still is over here. The Blues still winning the poll. 18 votes on it. We're splitting 78-22 in favor of the Blues. But that poll, I really feel like it's just it just shows what fans we have gained in this community. Like the Penguins or, you know, the Pirates could be taking on the Dodgers and it would be like still 60% Pirates. I mean, I would say you still have a chance. I mean, no goal has been scored yet, so there's certainly still a chance. All it takes is one weird bounce to go your way, and all of a sudden, you're talking, it's a different game. You're in the lead, you know? But here we go to the near side. Blues, top of the zone. Broberg sending it down, but taken back out by the Kings. Broberg getting it now into his own end. Yes, I know you do. But like, what my point is, John, is like you could put the Pirates up against the best team in baseball, and we'd still split 60% for the Pirates just because this is just a naturally Pittsburgh audience. Based on the you know, the games I've done, the teams I've covered, as Won't You Be My Neighbor stumbles over Trevor Moore. To the near side, the Blues wing-to-wing pass to the far side in the offensive end. Cycling it around Mailou, and that's going to be offside by the Blues. That's going to give the Kings a chance to swap out too. There could be overtime. We're only 7:22 remaining in the second, so there's still time. There's still plenty of time for a goal to happen. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that just because of the audience that this channel has grown and amassed, it is a very Pittsburgh-heavy audience. And I don't blame it. I mean, our Penguins reactions are incredible. We cover a lot of Penguins, the Pirates reactions, you know, Steelers reactions. So it's a very Pittsburgh-centric audience, which makes sense. But it's just because of that, the poll is really just a sense of who's in the chat. So here we go to the near side, down low, and the Kings trying to clear it out. Up through center to the far side, into the offensive end. They'll send it around the near side boards. Doughty now behind the net to Kopitar. To the far side, up to the point, passing across, intercepted by Toropchenko and the Blues. Taking it up the other way, off the stick of Pius Studer. Over to the far side, tied up for that puck, 6:40 to go. Oh yeah, Cruz is starting to hit. We saw a Cruz missile earlier today. Good for 3. And over to the far side, still behind the net, tied up for that puck, Dalibor Dvorsky with the puck along the boards. Back down into the corner, looking for help, taking it over to the near side, and Dvorsky back with it again. To the top of the zone, Fowler. Across to the far side to Lindstein, down low. Working with it again, back up to Studer. Studer sending it deflected. Here comes your chance, but the Blues getting it right back. Over to the near side, through center, Dvorsky to the far side, and played by Forsberg along the boards, and it's going to be off the stick of Dvorsky again. Tied up for that puck, and along the far side they go. Okay. Over to the near side corner, cycling it around, the Kings sending it to the far side, but taken by Stenberg and the Blues. From the point to the near side, Broberg, down low behind the net. Of all Pittsburgh teams, even University of Pittsburgh, absolutely. Absolutely. But here we go, the near side, moving it up into the neutral zone to the offensive end, driving down to the far side towards the net, crashing cross Forsberg, but no goal. Off the blocker pad, and we got a whistle. All right. Oh, man. I want to take a look at something real quick. Let me. I want to take a look at the Lemieux Sports Complex. Scott Lawton playing tonight for the Kings. Let me take a look. I believe, yeah, he is. He's on that third line alongside Jared Wright and Joel Armia, or at least he should be. Let me see here. April schedule. Ooh. Me thinks me might be going skating on Monday. I hope. I might try to go ice skating on Monday. Bro, I haven't been on the ice in like over a year. I seen Marino play at Pitt back in the day. That's awesome. That is awesome. But me thinks I'm going to go skating on Monday. I haven't been skating, man, in a hot minute. It'll be a nice hour skate for $10. I think I'm gonna try to do that. Oh man, I wanted to see. I've been itching to get back on the ice. I haven't been on the ice in over a year. I think I'm gonna head up to the Penn's practice facility. I think I'm gonna head over there if I can. Last time I was skating, I hurt my boys. Uh-oh. What's good, Joseph? How you doing, bro? Saying let's go Blues. I am either way on this team. I can see I'd be fine with either team winning if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, so the last time I went skating, I had staples in my head. The time before that is why I got the staples in my head. The last time I skated was actually on professional ice. It was on the ice of the ECHL team, the Fort Wayne Comets. After a game, they allow you on Sunday home games to skate on the ice after the game, and some of the players will come out as well. Like there was a guy from Pittsburgh that played on the Comets, Jack Dugan. He's from the Pittsburgh area. Blues always dangerous at the end of the season, absolutely. But yeah, I was skating on the actual ice of the Fort Wayne Comets. As the Kings driving the offensive end, we got a whistle for offside. But yeah, so I was skating there and I had staples in the back of my head because about, what was it, like just under a week prior, it was like 4 days prior, I was ice skating, and there were these little girls that were doing something a bit irresponsible. I'm doing my skating, right? I'm skating on the inside lane, and these two little girls decide that they're going to start circling around one of the face-off circles. Well, I'm skating on the inside, going at a decent rate of speed, not a reckless rate of speed, but definitely, you know, a relatively fast rate of speed, right? Well, these girls decide to do that, and I have no time to react, so I got two options. Either launch a little child on skates, on knives, or try to dodge the child. I try to dodge the child, lose my balance, and crack my head on the ice. That was not fun. I was expecting to go to a Bible study, and I ended up in the ER that night with a concussion and staples in my head. So, there we go to the far side, taken by Dumoulin. But overall, I was on the ice that following Sunday. I was ready to go. I felt good. And I've been itching to get back on the ice. I'll show the video with you guys. Yeah, I got a lot of miniature goaltender helmets. I love collecting. Oh, those are awesome. As the Kings crowding the net, but a nice save by the body of Bennington. Yeah, it was rough, but, you know, it is what it is. The people at the ice house, the Parkview Ice House out there, they looked at the cameras. They knew the little girls, and they knew they shouldn't have been doing that. So they had a conversation with them. And apparently, after I went down, I was out for about, 30 seconds. And they fled. They fled the scene as soon as they saw I was down. So they knew they did something wrong, and hopefully that scared them straight. You know what I mean? I'm no worse for wear now, but here we go. Driving the net, the Kings not able to do anything. Bennington to the near side. Kept by the Kings. Oh yeah, Bennington's stopping. He's stopping everything. He's being great tonight. Big game Benny has a big collapse, and we got a penalty coming up here. As bodies are crashing everywhere. I did get a concussion. I barely remember the ride home. I barely remember the ride home that night, or the ride to the hospital that night. Yeah, it was, I did get concussed on that. There's going to be Hull going to the sin bin, getting 2 for tripping or holding or hooking. Yeah, that was not very fun, but I'm no worse for wear now. I'm all good. But the Kings are getting ready to go on the power play. But yeah, I'm no worse for wear. I'm all good. And I'm itching to get back on the ice, bro. So I'm gonna try to go and see if I can go Monday, which would be just awesome. But here we go. A far side circle face off to the right of Bennington. Looking at Panarin on the ice. Uh-oh. John doesn't like this. Here we go to the far side, up to the top of the zone. Clark moving it around over to Panarin, driving the near or far side. Laferriere back to Panarin from the point, and down to Laferriere, near side shot, but he scores. Adrian Kempe. Let's go ahead and get the goal horn for them, because LAK is not a valid team apparently. But it is a goal for the Kings. Wouldn't be surprised if Benny Boy gets traded in the offseason. Yeah, I can see Bennigan's getting traded. Let's see, the Blues could ever start the season fast. They're a playoff team easy. They just always start the year slow. That do be true. Blues have been giving Hofer more and more starts. Yeah, I mean, I think Bennigan has been having a bad year. He's been having a bit of a down year this year, so it makes total sense for them to give more reign to Hofer. I mean, Hofer's been good, so it makes total sense for them to do that. And it would not surprise me if Bennington gets traded. Even they might keep him around as a backup, but still lean in heavily to Hofer. But I don't know if Bennington would want to stay under that kind of guides, you know? But over to the far side in the offensive end for the Blues. Can they get back control? Into the corner, tied up for that puck. Coming loose now all the way back. No icing. And it's going to be played by Bennigans to the near side. The Kings, Byfield over to Laferriere. Shot denied. Over the net and behind the net it goes to the far side. Byfield to the top of the zone. Cycling it around in front, deflected off a body, taken out the other way. Here comes, that's off the stick of Parayko, behind the net of Forsberg. Bennigan will not want to back up. I can definitely see him, not wanting to be that backup. So I can see him requesting a trade. But if the Blues have a sit-down conversation with him, I could see him, if he has that change of heart, the Blues keeping him as that kind of number 2. But here we go. The Blues trying to crash the net, not able to control it. And Carmen saying, joined you the other night. Really enjoying your stream. Lifelong Blues fan. We lost the other night in a heartbreaker 5-4. Well, thank you, Carmen. I appreciate that. It was a really tough game there. Right in the last seconds, too. I mean, wow. But here we go. CC flipping it up into, never mind, kept in the offensive end to the far side. Driving down Berggren. He stumbles, losing his edge into the corner. Tied up for that puck, and the Kings get it to the near side. Anderson. Man, they've been real close to a 50-50 share. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Give them 50-50 because Hooper's been doing well. Let him see if he can handle the load. As the Blues trying to crash the net in front of Forsberg. Can't quite do it. But we'll see. Over to the far side, playing it around now. Back on him behind the net. And Kings being a playoff spot at 78 points. Incredible. Absolutely. But yeah, Joseph, a bad year shouldn't. But also, it's a common trend, at least from what I've seen, with goalies. Goalies, when they start to go, it's a slippery slope. So the problem is that if Binnington has a bad year, he could rebound next year, but it could also be the beginning of the end where he's just like NFL kickers. I mean, look at Justin Tucker. Tucker was elite for so long, has a bad year, and then a falling knife off a cliff. You know what I mean? Kickers always do it. Vinatieri, if I'm not mistaken. Boz is going to have that for the Steelers eventually. That's how kickers are. That's how goalies kind of are in a sense. At least from what I've seen. As the Blues clear it out, and it's going to be icing on the Blues. 32.4 to go in the period. The Kings are going to have an offensive zone draw, and we shall see. But if you guys are enjoying the stream, real quick, I just got to say this. First off, John Hamm's here at the game, actor and St. Louis fan. But we are only one sub away from the next minor goal. Do we have somebody who can push us over the edge? That's always appreciated, bro. And let's see if we hit 10 likes, too. As the Blues getting the puck over to the near side, through center, into the offensive end. Doughty without a stick, tumbling, won't you be my neighbors? And the Kings clearing it out, taken back by the Blues. Yo, Cartman! You're freaking amazing, bro. Oh, it's good. Over to the far side, taken back by Anze Kopitar. With 5 seconds to go in the period, to the near side to Doughty. Trying to crash the net one more time. Sends it high over the net. And we have hit the end of the second period with a score. The Los Angeles Kings 1. The St. Louis Blues 0. Shots on goal are 19 for the Kings, and I believe it was 14 for the Blues. The same way the Roy Rangers goaltender, he was like 30 and he knows, and who knows how much more he's got left. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that goalies tend to be a lot like kickers in the sense of they are elite for so long, and then all of a sudden it just starts, and then it's utter collapse. So, you know, and considering his hit, let me take a look here at the Blues contract situation. You guys, you're a Penguins fan. Do you have a favorite for this game? So yes, we are Pittsburgh fans. Penguins, Steelers, Pirates. We actually did a Pirates game earlier today. The matinee 8-3 win over the Reds. But in this game, so I do have a Western Conference team, and that's the Edmonton Oilers. But also, if it can't be the Oilers out of the West, I pull for the Blues. For our Blues fans in the chat, John's been basically as long as the channel's been around, he's been a supporter of the channel. So I pull for the Blues for him because he's been here since day one. But also, I would like to see Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty get a chance for another ring. I would love to see that on Kopitar's last run, on his last dance, be able to go and get a ring. So really, I'm fine either way, whoever wins this. So I think personally, I would slightly lean the way of the Kings, but you know, I can go either way. I can be fine with anyone winning this game. Room for the Blues. You're a Blue Jackets fan. Uh-oh. Although it's gonna be a good race between Yins and the Islanders for that third spot in the Metro, and still could come up to the second spot. But the Penguins, after getting their last couple wins, are really trying to lock down that spot, especially in April. After the Lightning, the rest of the Pens schedule: 2 against the Panthers, against the Devils, 2 home and home against the Capitals, and then against the Blues. So it's going to be a tough thing, I would think, for the Pens to drop out, but I've seen them drop out before. The hours got between us. So here's my thing. Carmen. I've been saying this for the last 3 weeks. There's problems with both teams in my mind. The Blues, or the Blue Jackets, are playing way above their pay grade. You know, they are playing way above the belt. You know, they're like let's just say they're Peter Dinklage taking on Elmer Soderblom in a fight. They're punching way up from where they actually are, which if it's sustainable for them, that's great. But also, it's not usually sustainable. Whereas the problem with the Islanders is consistency. The Islanders will go and schlep, teams like the Stars or the Avalanche, and then they'll drop a game to the Rangers. You know what I mean? It's consistency is their big issue in my book. Is it possible for a Pens Flyers playoff matchup? I think theoretically it is. Wait a minute. Or would it would have to be... No, it still is theoretically possible. Looking at the playoff picture, in theory, yeah. I mean, it would take a mini miracle because both the Islanders and the Blue Jackets would need to collapse, and the Flyers would need to just go on an incredible heater. But we could get that round one. We could also get it later on in the playoffs, too, if the Flyers make a miracle run. Same with the Penguins. Now, also, Grossi is so big, it was basically only me, I think. So lots of streams were only me in chats. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Blues finish the year strong every year and starts what gets them. Yeah. I mean, that's the Steelers in a nutshell. They always do that. Hey, Jason, gonna set up for PWHL hockey tomorrow at Chargers Victoria. Nice. Nice. That's awesome, man. Oh, man. So taking a look real quick, I think we have score updates to provide here. The Avalanche getting a fourth goal at 6-4. That one going to be scored by Kelly. Also, the Ducks, Alex Killorn getting a goal to make it 2-1 at the end of 2. And our lone goal in this game was scored by Adrian Kempe and assisted by Alex Laferriere and Artemi Panarin. That was Kempe's 28th of the year. I'm hoping the Canucks win. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Bring in the chaos. Oh, man. We're taking a look at games remaining versus LA. The Kraken got 1. The Predators got 2. So the Kings really control their own destiny for that wild card 2 spot. Man. See, I can't figure out why it takes so long for the Blues to click. I don't know, man. Is it just a chemistry thing year in and year out? Charger moved from TD Place to the CTC. Nice. Nice. But let me see here real quick. I was going to look at something. Brittany is so afraid of having a bad season, but they need to get their quarterback. It was 6-10 to get Ben. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I like what they got in Howard. I think Howard has a chance to be a good quarterback. Also, you do have options in the mid-20s. Not the greatest, but, Let's see. Gonna be a good Penguins game tomorrow for sure. Oh, absolutely. Although, Cartman, I think I know the score already. It's gonna be 8-3 Penguins. For the last 3 days straight, a Pittsburgh team has won by a final score of 8-3. The Penguins 8-3 the Islanders on Monday. Tuesday, the Pirates 8-3 the Reds. Today, the Pirates 8-3 the Reds. Pirates don't play tomorrow, so it's got to be the Penguins that win 8-3. Right? Logic. Oh, man. But it is going to be a great game. Lightning, Penguins, especially the way the Pens have been playing. I mean, they have been clicking. The numbers never lie. Oh, man. I would love to be live for that game, but unfortunately, it is at 7 tomorrow for the Penguins, so I can't be live because I'm going to be at the church. Doing their rehearsal for the band. So yeah, it seems like it'll be able for the Blues to figure out these players. Been around for a few years, figured out. I would think so too. Is it maybe a coaching philosophy of, oh, we don't have our backs against the wall yet, so we're fine, and they kind of ease it off because their backs aren't against the wall yet? Let me take a look at the Blues roster breakdown to see what they should do, at least in my thoughts, for next year. Let me see. Cap projections. What is Benny Boy owed next year? Summary. Where is the roster? Oh, roster breakdown. There we go. Benny Boy is owed $6 million next year with a no trade clause. 14-team no trade list. So where's his no trade list? Bennington no trade list. Which has been there last year and this year, but it's been happening since 2019. I don't know, man. Let's see. Where's his no trade list? Let me see. Are no trade list public information? I don't know, but I want to find out. I want to find out. Oh man, there's one to listen. They also they also like Bennington. They also like Hofer. Hofer's younger. They probably go in that direction. Both guys another year wouldn't be bad. Man, what do you think? Blue Jackets roster is. I'm getting into hockey. If it's not too much, curious what your thoughts are for them. Well, let me take a look. Let me take a look real quick. First off, I want to see is Bennington's. Let's see. What's good, Blue Jay? Good to see you. Who's your second favorite team, if you had to say? In the NHL, it is the Edmonton Oilers, because I spent 4 years out in Fort Wayne, Indiana, going to college, where I would go to games for the Fort Wayne Comets. And the Comets are the ECHL affiliate to the Edmonton Oilers. So, you know, I got a soft spot for them by proxy. But then I also want to see the Kings go this year, too, because, you know, I want to see Kopitar and Doughty get a chance at another ring. No trade list public. It's not. Rats. I was hoping. Let me take a look at the Blue Jackets. Cap space. And pull up their Puckpedia and go to their roster breakdown. I mean, I think overall, the Blue Jackets are a solid up-and-coming team. You're going to have to pay Charlie Coyle this year. You're going to have to pay Mason Marchment and Jenner Boone. But you also have Kirill Marchenko, who I think is one of the most underrated players in the NHL, personally. Danton Heinen's been finding a place with Columbus. The only knock I have on them is they traded Chinikov right before firing the head coach, which led to them going on to this tear. And the reason they traded Chinikov was because Chinikov wasn't gelling with the coach. So if they were already thinking about firing the coach, why'd they trade Chinikov? I'm not complaining, because the Penguins are the beneficiaries of that trade, but at the same time, I mean, it's kind of a bad look. Oh man, but you got Adam Fantilli. That's definitely one you want to retain. Cole Sillinger probably is retained, but overall, I feel like the Blue Jackets have a really good, a really bright future, especially a goaltender. I mean, Jet Greaves, he's only 25, and he's been playing really well. Yeah, Elvis Merzlikins is a little bit up there in age. He's gonna be age 32 next year, but you know, overall, I think the Blue Jackets are in a really good spot. Let me look at their cap space for next year. Cap projections, $39.295 million is their projected cap space for next year. So they have money to do stuff with, but also you figure that cap is gonna get eaten up if you retain Charlie Coyle. Mason Marchment's going to eat up about $5 million a year, give or take. You know, Boone Jenner, if you keep him, which you probably do, being he's your captain, you're talking maybe another $4 million a year. I mean, the Blue Jackets are a young and old team. I mean, looking down their forwards list, you know, you got Heinen, who's 30, Miles Wood, who's 30, Matthew Olivier is 29, Boone Jenner's 32, Mason Marchment's 30, Connor Garland's 30, Sean Monahan 31, but also you got young great players. Also Charlie Coyle is 34, but also you got, you know, Cole Sillinger, who's been really well at 22. You also got Kirill Marchenko, who's not young, but 25 is still relatively. Adam Fantilli at age 21. You know what I mean? You got a lot of options there. On top of, what's his name? Where is he? Where is he? I saw him and I said his name earlier and I can't remember. Oh my gosh, where is he? Not Lundstrom. What's his name? Oh my gosh. I need to pull up my Blue Jackets call sheet real quick. Kirill Marchenko. Yes, and he's 25. The cannon is nice too. It is real nice. Defensively, Provorov's 29. You know, defensively, they would want to be a little bit younger. You got Denton Matejchuk, who's been really good at age 21. Zach Werenski, age 28. So they are getting a little bit up there in age, but they still have a window. They still have a window if they make the right moves. So it's just going to be a matter of, do they make those right moves and how do they make those adjustments? How do they get what they need? So that's kind of where my thoughts lie on them. Taking a quick look around the league, no other score updates to provide, but the Canucks and Avalanche under 9 minutes to play in regulation. All right, the Canucks might get the win. And then a preview of tomorrow. A lot of playoff implications for tomorrow. A lot of them. Let's go ahead and break down some of the highlights here. The official clinching and elimination scenarios. Buffalo has a win and in against Ottawa tomorrow. If they win, they're in. If they lose, they have to wait. Carolina also clinching a playoff berth with either a point in any manner or a Detroit and Ottawa regulation loss. Meanwhile, Minnesota has a chance to also clinch a playoff berth with a regulation win, or if they get a point and the Sharks get a point, or if the Sharks lose in regulation and the Kings lose in either regulation or overtime, either today or tomorrow. So the Minnesota Wild having a decent chance at clinching a spot. The Florida Panthers, defending Stanley Cup champions, will be mathematically eliminated tomorrow. If Cartman's Blue Jackets pull off the win, then Florida loses in regulation. Let's see, who win the match? Johan or Johan, which one are you talking? Are you talking the Blues Kings tonight? This game is still up in the air. Either team I could see winning this one. Toronto also eliminated with a Blue Jackets win and a regulation loss. Apart from that, a lot of, like a lot of division seedings. Detroit can be eliminated from the Atlantic 1 and Atlantic 2 if they take a regulation loss plus a Lightning win. Or a Buffalo win would eliminate the Detroit from the first seed in the Atlantic. Ottawa, again, it's another situation where they are in danger. So we'll see. Just taking a look around here. A lot of Eastern Conference. Ironically enough, a lot of Eastern Conference scenarios. Not a lot of Western Conference, because the Eastern Conference is tight and good. The Western Conference, a lot of those scenarios have already happened, and now you're left with the, I don't want to say the bad teams, but the not as good team. The not as good teams is what you're kind of left with, and those scenarios are going to take a while to play out. I think Senators take tomorrow's game. Interesting. I got Buffalo because Buffalo is going to be hungry. They're going to want to punch that ticket. They're going to want to punch that ticket as soon as they can to end the drought. So I would love to see them go for the end on that tomorrow night and just get it done. Get it over with. Get that from, stop that from hanging over your head. Just like Crosby. How Crosby just wanted to get passing La Magnifique. He just wanted to get that done with. And it took him a while, but he finally did. The Pacific is by far the weakest. Fun fact. If the Pacific Division were in the Eastern Conference, right? If the Pacific Division were in the Eastern Conference, no team would be in a playoff position right now. None. No team in the Pacific Division would be in a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Which is kind of crazy. Hopefully Leon for the Oilers will be back for playoffs. Hopefully. I mean, that was a tough loss for Leon Draisaitl. That was a big loss for them. Pillow fight. Oh my gosh. That is the Pacific Division in a nutshell, though. Pillow fight! Oh, man. But yeah, that's your Pacific Division in a nutshell. It is weak. It is weaker than weak. And you need top 3 in each division, but I get what you mean. Yeah, if they were just thrown into the wild card race, none of them would qualify. They wouldn't qualify based on wild card spots. So that's just kind of crazy just to think about. You know? Let me see here. Oh man. Yeah, we are rolling our way here though, getting ready for the third period of action. Oh man. All 8 Central teams make the playoffs. I like that Pack and East right now. Go Blues. Oh man, if only it worked out that way. If only it worked out that way. But we'll see here. We are getting ready to gear up for the third period of action. And here we go. Taking the ice again, looking at LaFerriere. This season, 74 games played, and assists tonight, 18 goals, 19 assists, including the one tonight, with a +1 rating. All right. So let's see here. Ready to rumble. After 2 periods again. First period, 10 shots on goal, 6 for the Kings, but here we go. Third period of action underway. The Kings win the opening draw, going from right to left. The Blues from left to right. Behind the net, that's going to be off the stick of Parayko to the near side. Off of Kyrou, back on into the defensive end for the Blues. The Kings working around to the near side. Sending it down from Byfield into the corner. The Kings still working with it, trying to send it around the near side boards. Tied up right near the circle and down low, Buchnevich to the far side, Parayko. He's going to try and clear it up, but tied up with the Kings, and the puck goes down low. Buchnevich now to the near side, over to Lindstein, trying to clear the zone. They will, and the Kings get it back in the defensive end. And since I'm subbed, I get short to me reading scripture. That's cool, man. Well, thank you. That's something I wanted to do. You know, I want to use this channel to be able to obviously cover sports and have a lot of fun doing that, but also share my faith, man. That's been something I've really been feeling compelled to do, so it's something I try to do as often as I can. So, in fact, actually, I keep these little guys right on my desk here. These guys are little Jesus figures. But I always keep them on my desk while I'm streaming. But here we go, over to the far side, and it's going to be a whistle. I believe it's either icing or puck went out of play. Sharks and Avalanche scored 1. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, the Avs tied it up. The Avs just tied it up. This is not a drill. The Avs just tied it up. And by the way, that was Macklin and Celebrini on that last Sharks goal. But over to the near side, played back in behind that of Forsberg. Have I not noticed them before? I've been keeping them down, down here for the last few streams. Like the last week or so. But here we go to the near side and flipped out by the Blues into the offensive end behind the net of Forsberg. Over to the far side along the boards. The Kings will clear the zone. And chasing it out, that's back up into the neutral zone by Pius Suter. The near side into the offensive end, chasing it around now, wing to wing, the Kings. Clearing it out, intercepted into the offensive end. Colton Parayko looking for some help. Back in behind the net, taken by Brian Dumoulin to the near side. Canucks haven't scored more than 6 all season, I don't think. Well, they're going to need to. Those last 2 goals, by the way, they were Sam Malinsky and Brent Burns. But here we go. The Kings trying to crash the net, but not able to crash the party. Over to the far side, moving it out, and it's kept in by the Kings. Down low to the near side, top of the zone. Back on in behind the net. Over to that far side along the boards. Up to the top of the zone. And Robert Thomas trying to move it out. He does, but we got a whistle. Robert Thomas like, me? What did I do? Wait, they scored? Canucks scored? Oh my gosh. Bro, what's going on? Oh my gosh, and I was gonna stream this game, but I was gonna stream that game, but there was like no playoff implications, whereas this was the game in the Western Conference tonight. Are you kidding me? I was gonna stream that too, but I didn't because I figured this would be better. Wow, Marcus Pettersson with the goal, assisted by Brock Beezer. Man, but here we go. Wing to the near side. The Kings flipping it into the offensive end. Back on in behind the net. Big collision into the boards. Cam Fowler getting laid out. And a chance, a shot denied by Binnington. Up through center now. Moving it in. Toropchenko driving down. Can't work around the stick of Edmondson. And we got a fight. As it's going to be number 37, Jack Finley, getting into it there with number 52 going to be Taylor Ward. And really, they're just giving each other a big hug. Both trading shots and, yeah, they're just giving each other a big ol' hug. They just gave each other a big ol' hug, the neck drag down tactic. I'm done with the fight. Come on down. But yeah, it was Pettersson. It was Pettersson on that goal, assisted by Brock Beezer. Bro, there have been 3 goals. Oh, wait a minute. The Pettersson goal came off. The Pettersson goal came off. Wow. Never mind. Still 6-6. But we'll see. How did that oh, that's how that fight broke out. They were kind of shoving on each other, and they just said, "Oh, you want to go? You want to go? Fine, fine." And they just start grabbing at each other, and that was one of the most WWE fights of all time. Oh man. But here we go. The Blues sending it towards the net. Not going to make it there to the near side. Back down low from Buchnevich. Back down low is Won't You Be My Neighbors. Over to Kyrou. Trying to connect with Won't You Be My Neighbors again. But the Kings moving it out through center. Trying to race it in, but Hull gets back to it for the Blues behind the net to the near side. Passing Buchnevich and into the neutral zone. The Kings are going to dump it right back in behind the net of Hofer. Would Gino be mad tomorrow? Do I bench the Mad Russian? I don't know. I mean, I could see it either way. Gino, I presume, will be in his second game back. So, I don't know. But we'll see. Over to the near side. It's going to be, that's Brian Dumoulin behind the net. Over to the far side. He moves it up through the zone into the offensive end, driving it around near side. Top of the zone, shot by Edmondson, gonna go wide behind the net off of a body. Back on around to the top of the zone to the near side. Edmondson shot, gets off the body there of his own teammate into the near side again, down low. And back up to the point. Over to the far side again, shot denied to the near side, and the Blues, can they finally clear the zone? And that they will, wing to the far side. Oh, wait a minute. Now it says 7-6. What's going on? What's going on in Colorado right now? What's going on? So here we go from the point to the near side. ESPN is just going crazy. ESPN is going crazy. I'll bench the Mad Russian. Man, but over to the near side. What do I watch the games on? I watch them on TV. For games that are not local to my area, I also have ESPN Plus. So I'm getting this game courtesy of ESPN Plus. But here we go to the far side, and we got a whistle. Man. So it says 7-6. Let me take a look. You go to NHL.com/scores. 7-6. But we don't know who scored the goal. Okay, then. Meanwhile, let me get a little reloaded-ody on this. Man, But over to the center ice area, passing back to the near side. Hull dumps it into the offensive end. Okay, it is 7-6 for sure. Okay, I just want to make sure. Because it was saying 7-6, but it has literally the last goal update was just providing it 6-6, and then it went down to 6-6, and then it's back up to 7-6. So I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure, and I wanted to make sure. But here we go. The Kings clearing out the zone, back in behind the net of Benny Boy. Over to Hull, moving it up now into the neutral zone, dumps it into the offensive end behind Forsberg. And over to the near side, Brian Dumoulin passing it up, and up through center they're going to go from Turcotte. Into the offensive end, they'll send it. No, you mean exactly. And that, the reason that sometimes you'll hear goal horns proc twice, because the scoreboard down here is all automated. Everything you see on this stream is automated, which is really nice. The timer, the period, both scores, the sub counter, the ticker above that, that's all automated. But the problem is, because it's using ESPN's APIs, if it has a glitch and goes back to like from 1 to 0 to 1, you'll hear the goal horn again, but it's just quite literally the ladder. And a little bit of pushing and shoving. Everybody grab your partner, swing them round and round. It's time for a good old Southern hoedown. And losing his helmet on that is going to be... Someone lost helmet. That is going to be number 17 on the Kings. That's going to be Matthew Joseph, who lost his helmet there. But the Ducks getting a goal. That one going to be scored by Troy Terry. Up 3-2 over the Sharks. Let's see, Todd saying, I'm keeping an eye on the Colorado game. It has been incredible. So, okay, so it is Marcus Pettersson assisted by Brock Beeger. With 2 minutes to go, the Canucks are up on the Avs 7-6. I like the Kings despite being a Canucks fan. Go Kings. Yes, sir. You know, I would like to see the Oilers out of the West. That's just my number 2 team. But if it can't be the Oilers, I want it to be the Kings. I want to see one last run for Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty. You know, I want to see one last run for them. Oh, longest 2 minutes ever, absolutely, abso-frickin-lutely. In fact, let me go and pull this up here. I need to mute it real quick. I need to mute. There we go. Oh! Vancouver up 8! On the empty net goal! I put the game on my left monitor so I could see. Brock Beeger, best minutes, the T plus, sir. Best minutes T. Okay. Beezer, yeah. Yeah, Beezer. But man, the Nordiques taking a timeout. I love it when they actually play as the Nordiques and they actually call them the Quebec Nordiques. Like, it says QUE timeout. The Quebec Nordiques have taken a timeout. Looking back at the Cup years, it's been 12 years now since the Kings last won a Cup. It was with Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty. So we'll see if they got a little bit of magic left in them. I think that wasn't that the purple years, or was that the start of the black era? Because they were purple for a long time. But over to the far side, the Kings trying to drive the net, not gonna go. And the Nordiques is awesome. Yeah, that is cool. And that's why they're using a very generic center ice logo for Ball Arena. But over to the far side, here come the Blues up through center to the near side. Parayko with the puck along the boards down low. Tied up for that possession. And let's see. Quebec with the empty net. But a shot now around the near side. The Blues working with it down low from Suter. Taken by Doughty. Along the boards, the Blues getting it back in front of the net. Back in behind. Suter on top of it. Over towards the far side. Back across to the near. And the Blues getting it back up near side shot. Pareko goes wide. Top of the zone maintained by Hull. Sending it down low. Back in behind the net over to the far side. Oh my gosh, I forgot to send a text today. And up to the top of the zone over to the far side. Oh my gosh, I forgot to send a text today. I really dropped the ball on that. It's been a crazy week for me, and I forgot to send a text. So I need to do that right after this stream. But either way, coming up to the near side, I might actually send it at the next commercial break. But back in behind the net now, over to the far side. I remember when Eric Lindros refused to play with the Nordiques. Oh, man, but a shot for the Kings, not going to make it over to the near side along the boards. Down low to the far side, and the puck goes out of play. Let me go ahead real quick and shoot that text because I forgot to send a message. I said I would send it, this morning, and it just completely slipped my mind. 1, 2. Out sooner as we are ready to go for the face-off, won by the Blues out of their own end. Man, refused to play the Nordiques, went to Philadelphia. Wow, that's crazy. But here we go, the Blues trying to drive the net and not quite to the near corner. The Kings wrestling it back over to Snuggerud to the far side. And that puck going to be cleared out and out of play. These and Jonah 2. Oh man, let me see here. I need to finish out some of this text because it is for the Bible study that I am leading, and I dropped the ball on getting that text out earlier today. So oopsie poopsie. Oh man. Also, if you are following for videos, please watch the third video covering as the Blues over to the near side. Back into their own end, taken by Kyrou over to the far side, boards in front of the benches, up through center to the offensive end, back on into the area behind the net to the near side. Played out there off the stick of Edmondson, shot and gloved by, not Kemper, Forsberg. Game section. So it is fine, okay. I did see that went through. I just tuned in just as they got their first empty netter. Also, Aaron, he will sing this week. Just make sure here. Okay. We got a face off now over to the near side. Taking a look at our poll real quick in the chat while we're waiting on this face off. We are splitting 29 votes, 72% for the Blues, 28% for the Kings. And here we go over to the far side. The Blues taking it back down low to the near from Cam Fowler. Up through center. Into the offensive end. They'll dump. They're going to take a massive dump on all of LA tonight. From the point, never mind. They just took a dump on themselves. They cleared themselves out of the zone. And trying to beat the foot race, they do. Nice job, Colton Pareko. Over to the far side, in front of the benches now, through center to the offensive end, near side with a chance. Passing across, shot denied. Over to the far side, boards again. Moving it around, clearing it out, and the Blues got to get it back over to the far side. Melu to the near side. And cleared up through center for the Kings to take it back out of their own end. Okay. Now moving it up into the offensive end. It's going to be dumped by the Kings, taken back by the Blues. Going the other way with it, racing into the corner, trying to get there is Toropchenko. The far side, the Kings moving it out now into the offensive end. 2-on-3 into the zone, so nowhere really to go. The Blues wrestling that puck away, and they'll get it out of their own end right now. Oh, man. Next message. If you Okay, so over to the near side, up through center, here come the Kings. Into the offensive end, shot not gonna make it. To the far side, top of the zone, back down into the corner, and the puck gets jostled out. The Blues trying to move it around, but the Kings taking it back now the other way into the offensive end with a chance. Off the stick of Joseph, into the corner to the far side, played by the Kings. Moving it around near side, chance shot and gloved by Bennington. Manifesting a goal here. Manifesting Blues goal. Manifesting Blues goal. Oh, 9:26 to go. That manifesting is going to have to wait till after the commercial break. Oh, man. So we have a head count. Okay. Also, please confirm if we will still play 30 or so. Okay, there we go. Had to send out that message there because I am leading the Bible study right now while one of the guys that typically leads it is out in China. So, you know, taking advantage of that, doing the needing to make sure I send out messages and all that. That's been something that I kind of dropped the ball on today. I was going to send it earlier and it just in one ear, out the other, because it's been a crazy day. It has really been a crazy day between all the streams, which really has been awesome. Being able to stream the Pirates game today was like awesome. Oh, we'll see. We will see here. Oh, Anthony Mantha's now a dad. Wait, what? Vancouver 8th goal called back. That can't happen after that case, right? I don't think that was possible. Still says 8-6 final, so. But we'll see. Taking a look at the Kopitar Legacy Night for the Kings. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific time, as the Kings will take on the Nashville Predators. A big game for the wild card race. And here we go over to the far side into the offensive end. Dad Power, I'm definitely playing him. Oh man, players most scored for becoming a dad. Yeah, well, Anthony Mantha just now become a dad, so congrats to the Mantha family. And over to the near side, moving it out, come the Kings, tied up for that puck. Snuggerud able to help free it up. Top of the zone, wing to the far side. The Kings driving the net, shot. Puck goes up into the air and does not touch the netting. Played over to the far side around the boards. Cleared out. Here comes a foot race for that puck. Cody Ceci able to get it, and thrown down is the Blues player. So over to the near side, CC with the puck, passing it back. Kopitar and Malkin aging like a fine wine season. Abso-frickin-lutely. Well, Kopitar, it makes sense. It's his last run. He wants to leave on a high note, you know? So, yeah. Here we go to the near side. Wing to wing from Stenberg. Top of the zone. Fowler shot gets deflected into the corner. The Kings trying to move it out. Along the near side. Down low still into the corner. And over to the far side. Brian Dumoulin trying to clear the zone. Kept in by the Blues for now. And now the puck going to go out of the zone. And out of play. But if you guys are enjoying the stream, man, please do us a big favor. Drop a like and drop a sub while you're around here. At 900 subscribers, my dad will call a full period of hockey. You guys have seen him do it before. You guys wanted this. So he will be calling it at 900 subscribers. We're only 30 away. Can we do it before the end of the regular season? I think that would be pretty sweet. I think that would be pretty sweet, having Dad call some hockey the last day of the regular season. Oh, man. But yeah, the Penguins posted 5 hours ago. Say hi, or everybody say hi to Estelle. Congratulations to Anthony Mantha and his wife Caitlin on the birth of their baby girl. Okay. So we'll see. We will see. Far side circle draw. We got Tavia saying need a Cairo or Pareko goal. Well, it certainly still is possible. Here we go. Over to the far side. Sid the Kid Crosby to Fine Wine. Absolutely. But he's been doing that for years. But over to the far side, Won't You Be My Neighbor sends it down for Cairo, taken back by the Kings. To the near side, Maylou with the puck. Along the boards, tied up, and to the top of the zone it goes. Sent down into the corner again, and moving it around, Buchnevich playing the puck on his booty. Over to the far near side, moving it out are the Kings. Up into the offensive end, taken back by Broberg and the Blues. Coming up through center to the offensive end, to the far side, driving in, shot denied. Nice chance there by Broberg, but an incredible save by Forsberg. Over to the near side they go. Samantha. That would be something. What's your name? Samantha. Oh, man. But to the near side, the Blues. Moving up through center to the far side of the offensive end, driving across near side, shot, loose, rebound, taken to the near side again. That's Snuggerud down low, over to the far side, back up to the point, Pareko, rifles one, not going to make it to the net. Pareko back to the far side, chance, not going to go again. Over to the near side, down low, shot loose in front, waiting on that puck. It goes back in behind the net. How do you not punch it in? Oh my gosh. Over to the far side, working it around along the boards, and the Kings successfully defend against that massive onslaught. So here they go to the near side. The Blues out of their own end, ready to rock and rodeo. Out of the center ice area, into the offensive end they'll go. Near side, down low, off of the stick of Berggren. Tied up and going to get cleared up by Lawton. Moving it up now into the defensive end of the Blues, where St. Louis takes it back. To the near side to the offensive end, bodies colliding at center. And tied up along the boards, taken now over to the far side, off of the body of Berggren. And a big collision at the blue line as the puck comes loose near side, Maylou. And losing the puck, coming back the other way, here comes Brian Dumoulin. He's going to rifle it into the offensive end. Taken back by Maylou behind the net of Benny Boy. Working with it now over towards the near side. Moving it up now, up through center. And into the offensive end, sent by Buchnevich, but the puck goes into the netting, out of play. So, taking a look real quick here. No score updates for Ducks Sharks. The Ducks still up 3-2 over the Sharks with just under 8 minutes to go here in the third. As we've got 5:24 to go in our third period as well. With a score, the Los Angeles Kings 1, the St. Louis Blues 0. All right. Oh, wait, I actually want that. I want that tab. So, by the way, we'll still be here. We'll still be here for the rest of this game, but looking ahead to our next streams. I forgot to put tomorrow night's stream on there, I think. There is a stream tomorrow night. Yes, there is a stream tomorrow night. I did send out a members only poll. So for the members of the channel, again, no need, no requirements, but it does help me out in being able to bring you guys this content. It helps for things like ESPN Plus, any upgrades I'd like to make with the setup. It does help, but not required. But we do have a members only poll going out for the couple of games that we have debates on for streaming. It looks like tomorrow we are leading with the Maple Leafs and Sharks, unless a couple more members join up and vote for something else. So we'll see. Again, not required, but any tier does get you it, and it does allow you to help vote and choose what games I will stream coverage of. But here we go, as we are getting ready to come back to the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. And here we go, 5:24 to go in this third period, and the Blues are now going to be in overdrive after that. Looking back at that Broberg chance, he couldn't even get it on net. He didn't even get it on net. Upsetting game if the Blues don't score at all? Absolutely. Absolutely. The Blues got to make something happen here. I mean, I think they'll get something. There's got to be some mental lapse. I mean, Forsberg's going to have some mental lapse somewhere, some way, somehow. But here we go to the far side, into the offensive end, back in behind the net of Forsberg. And now moving it out the near side. That's awesome. Leafs and Sharks. Well, right now, that's what the channel members are voting for. So, we'll see. We'll see if the channel members keep on doing that. But that is for those who are the paid members on the channel. Driving it to the near side. Lawton not able to make it. Oh! Lawton colliding skate first into the boards. That's gotta hurt. But here we go, over to the far side, into the offensive end. They'll dump it behind the net of Binnington. But yeah, that's one of the perks, I wanted to give for people that are, that want to help support the channel financially. It was just allowing people to help choose what I stream when I don't know what to stream. I'm open to have a poll or two every week, for those kind of purposes. As we are ready to go, driving in the far side, a chance in front of the net for the Kings, not able to control it. Along to the top of the zone, shot and saved by Benny Boy. Yeah, I figured it's something that I could do. I could set up a couple times a week for you guys to choose what you guys want me to do. And, it's just a little thank you. A little thank you to you guys who do choose to become channel members. So, again, no pressure. This content's still free for everyone. It's just if you want a little extra perk, a little bit of control over what I do, then that's how you do it. Any tier does get you it. So that's the other thing to keep in mind as well. As we have a face off to the far side, top of the zone, the Kings over to the near side. Edmondson shot goes behind the net. Over to the far side, played by Cam Fowler. Up on into the offensive end they go, driving it into the corner. Dvorsky tied up for that puck, and it's going to come loose in front of the net. Chance for the Blues, shot, and saved by Forsberg. A little bit of words being exchanged after the play, after the freeze. All right. But we are ready to roll here. A nice glove save by Forsberg. Incredible focus. Just to follow that puck through and just get the glove. Oh, boy! Oh, boy! Oh, boy! Hold on. This game just radically changed. Thomas against Byfield in the face-off circle, ready to roll. Face-off won by the Blues. Shot gonna go wide. Over to the near side, top of the zone. Broberg pass. Shot. Hey! Shoots. He scores. Robert Thomas gonna be credited with the goal, I believe, on that one. And just like that, the Blues have made this a game. 3:53 to go in regulation. The Blues clinging on to a tie game. When all hope looked lost mere moments ago, the Blues have found a way to come back. A nice job there, right off the stick thereof. Going to be Robert Thomas. Goes by Snuggerud. And off of Thomas's stick, right on in by Forsberg. The shutout is dead. Carmen saying, let's go Blues. Well, here we go, rocking and rolling our way here. 23 shots on goal apiece. 1 goal apiece is your score as well. As we are getting into the final few minutes here. It's actually off the... Uh-oh. Hold on. Is there going to be a challenge by the Kings? Because there might have been a bit of a kick. Might have been off the kick of the heel. But that's fine. Oh, okay. Scoreboard malfunction. Scoreboard malfunction. But yeah, it did look like on a replay, it looked like it went off the back. Almost like as if Thomas moved his heel in, pushing the puck into the net, which would have made it no goal. But the Kings not daring enough to challenge. They think they're better than it. So here we go into the offensive end. The Blues will send it. Chasing it down is going to be Brian Dumoulin to the far side. Trying to get it out of his own end, and it's tied up into that far corner. 3.5 to go. Will we get overtime? Almost like a back heel. Exactly. It looked like he kind of moved that heel in to kind of direct it into the net since it missed the stick. And he got away with it. He got away with a little something on that one. As over to the far side, won't you be my neighbors? Sends it down low past Parayko. And now up the other way to the offensive end, chasing it down, Bennington. Over to the near side, the Blues get it back, Kyrou. Trying to move it up now over to Parayko, looking for some room to the far side. He finds it, back across off of the stick of Pius Suter and back the other way. Chasing it down is going to be Logan Mailou. He, collides into the boards nastily there at speed. But he looks like he's all good. Chasing it down. A breakaway chance. Not going to go. A nice chance for the Blues. Not able to convert. And that puck is going to go out of play. All right. Let me see. Let me get a little reload here and check a few things. As we do. Although I do got to say real quick, much love to Allians recently. The channel, especially over the last couple weeks, is just... almost felt like it resurged back to life. It felt like, right around the end of January, right around February, the channel was just kind of in like a kind of a holding pattern. So much love to Allians who have really helped, flood the channel and just really push it back, get it back into that. Glory be back to Christ for the growth that, you guys have found the channel, but you guys always make the active decision to hop in these streams. And for that, I'm forever grateful to you guys. Honestly, you guys make my day. Just by being here. Just by talking sports. Man, 5 goals in final minutes for Blues losses this season. 3 of them against PDF Stars. Wow. Oh, here we go. Anze Kopitar up against Robert Thomas in the far side circle. Your channel would do better if you lose the Pittsburgh stuff. Oh, boy, Elise. Oh, boy. Right now, that's the bread and butter of the channel. Has been the Pittsburgh sports coverage. But I like to cover a little bit of everything. So here we go. Kempe to the far side, moving it up now the near into the offensive end, sending it back in behind the net of Bennington to the far side. 2:11 to go in the period to the near side. Kings fans wanting a trip, and they'll get it. It's going to be 2 for tripping up against Logan Mailou. So just like that, the Los Angeles Kings are getting on the power play. So PDF Stars, we have someone else who comes on the channel on occasion, and you guys will see him you guys can see him in the game day vlog I made for Penn's Blues, and in the game day vlog I'm gonna make for Penn's Stars. He goes by the name PDF on this channel, pessimistic Dallas fan. We call him PDF. Mailou can't believe the penalty while he's in the sin bin, but either way, he's a big Dallas guy. So we call him PDF, and he's a big Stars fan, Rangers, Mavs, Cowboys, the whole 10 yards. So, they say, oh, it's his Cowboys or his Stars. So that's where that comes from. Oh, here we go. But yeah, there was like a 2-month period on the channel where like growth was there, but like we were gaining around 100 to 150 subs a month for like October, November, December. And then January, February, March was like maybe 50 a month, which definitely was still growing, but like it was nowhere near as fast. And you guys have brought that growth back up. So absolutely. Much love to Allians, man. The back on him behind his own net. Clark moving into the far side. This power play will not carry into overtime. There's a 5-second difference where the game clock has 5 seconds more than the power play. But here comes Panarin back down low over to the far side. Stars game winning goal. 19 minutes game winning goal 1857. Wow. Are both these teams in shootouts? I don't know offhand. I could take a look. I could try to find out. What's good, Allie? How you doing? So here we go. Clark moving it out from his own zone, passing back, trying to create some room. Here's Quentin Byfield. 50 seconds on the power play, 55 in the third period. Over to the far side, the Blues clearing it out, trying to create a shorthanded opportunity, but not going to let that happen. Forsberg leaves it for Panarin. Out to the far side, he goes through center to the near side. Watching from Iraq. Welcome from Iraq, man. Welcome from Iraq. Top of the zone, Dowdy to the far side, Byfield trying to drive the net back up to Dowdy. Shot! Not going to make it to the net, and it goes out of play or in the glove. Either way, it's a whistle. 26.3 seconds to go in regulation. 21 seconds left on the power play. We got ourselves a game here, folks. We got ourselves a great old-fashioned hockey game. Oh, man. Here we go. Out there for the Blues is Buchnevich, Suter, Fowler, and Parayko. And let's see. I think the Blues are like the Penguins in overtime, record-wise. That is not a good thing. That's not a good thing to be following in terms of your playoff success. Man. Let's see. You're watching from work. A forensic pathologist. That's cool. That's awesome, Tavius. That's awesome, man. But yeah, let me take a look here. We got a timeout taken. No, I'm just gambling, that's why. Hey, man, it makes sense. You gotta watch. You gotta watch when you make them bets. You gotta find out what's going on up to the minute, bro. I get it. Oh, man. But yeah, right now, the Kings have 18 overtime losses. The Blues have 11. So both of these teams are clown shows in overtime, it looks like. What's good, Free Indeed? How you doing, bro? Who do you have in this game? I really could go either way, but let's see. I'm curious who Ali has. See, I need St. Louis to win, bro. Could you give him a call? Well, we'll see. We'll see. What's good, RFK? Devontae Kopitar going to lose the draw back in behind the net. Parayko to the near side. Over to Holloway. Or actually, Buchnevich, my bad. Wing to wing. Over into the offensive end. Back on in behind the net. 10 to go on the power play. 15 in the period. Kempe with that puck. 10, 9, 8 to Panarin. 7, 6 behind the net. Over to the far side. 5, 4. Power play expires. 3, 2, 1, and we've got overtime. Amen, RFK. I don't know how many overtime wins offhand. Let me see here. Let me take a look. Standings. Man. Let's talk about the elite. Yeah. Dad's asleep. Dad's asleep. He got work in the morning. So he's asleep. But yeah, the Blues have... See, the Kings have 25 or have 6 overtime wins. They have 19 regulation wins. They have 10. So the Kings are 10 and 18 in overtimes and shootouts. And in shootouts, they are 4 and something. I don't know how many shootouts they've been to this year. The Blues, on the other hand, they have 3 overtime wins. And overall, in overtime, they are 4 and 11 in overtime and shootout. But we are in overtime, so that means it's time to stand. What's that big purple thing next to the monitor? I don't know what you're talking about. Purple thing next to the monitor. Here real quick, let me first off raise the camera. As we do for overtime. Okay. So here we go, taking another look at the playoff picture going into tonight and how critical of a game this is. Both of these teams still in the hunt for that last wild card spot and taking a look at the season series between these two teams. See, Ducks losing. What? How the turns have tabled. Wow, 31 seconds left. The Sharks getting another couple. Celebrini with 2 goals and Wenberg with a goal as well. Wow, where's Dad at? He is upstairs. He is sleeping. It is 11:43 here on the East Coast. So he got work in the morning. In the American flag, it says something. Like this? This is another monitor. I don't know what you're talking about. This is honey. That's a cup. Let's use Robinhood app for that. Awesome. Okay. Oh, here we go. Over to the far side. Drew Doughty taking that puck in his own end and moving it to the far side. Up through center they go to Kempe. Flipping it in. Oh, you son of a gun, RFK. So Thomas into the offensive end now for the Blues. Over to the near side, that's Holloway. Back over to Broberg. Shot goes wide, gets deflected. Into the near side, along the boards. Maintained by Thomas. Kings fans wanting a penalty, not going to get it. Thomas driving the net to the near side. Broberg flips it around, still loose in front of the net. How do you not get that? Here goes Kempe on a breakaway. Nobody in for Miles. He flips it in denied. Whoa! Talk about a turn of events. Robert Thomas now to Holloway, and shot goes off of Clark. Oh my gosh. Moving it around the near side, Byfield to Panarin. Taking a look at the chat here. Blues according to wins and regulation wins. Yes, sir. But over to the side, Byfield. That puck gets cleared out, chasing it down. Let's see. Come on, St. Louis. 31 wins, 27 in regulation, 4 wins in overtime plus for the Blues this season. Exactly. They are 4-11 in extra time this year, whereas the Kings, I believe, are like 10-18. So here we go. Snuggerud to the far side, into the offensive end for the Blues. Driving the net, shot gets blocked. LaFerriere now on that puck. Moving it around now to the near side, into the center area, passing back, cycling back around. Over to the far side, Doughty. Doughty passing up towards LaFerriere, over to Kopitar. And Anze Kopitar cycling back into his own end. Back over to the far side, Trevor Moore. And here comes Moore into the offensive end with speed. Speed kills. That's a documentary I watched. He shoots. He scores. Just like the Alcoholics Anonymous meeting said, speed kills. And speed killed the Blues tonight. Trevor Moore with a game-winning goal in overtime on a speedy zip of a chance. Let's go ahead and play that Kings horn real quick. Let it sing for the Kings fans here tonight. If you guys did enjoy the coverage of tonight, man, drop a like, drop a sub. We're only 2 subs away from the next minor goal. Why don't we try to see if we can hit that before we wrap up tonight? We'll still hang out for a little bit, though. Man, thoughts on Mike Trout retiring at the end of this year? He's still playing? He's been around since I was like a kid. He's been around since I've been in like middle school or something like that, bro. But at least the Blues did get a point out of it, which is still big. Granted, not getting 2 is going to hurt them, but at least they got a point. So we'll see. At least they did get 1 out of the game. Taking a look around the other game in the Western Conference, and the Sharks did pull the win. Ali, congratulations, man, on your winnings. Yes, it came at the expense of the Blues, but congratulations on that win, good sir. Oh, man. Taking a look real quick, our next stream will be tomorrow night, which, by the way, if you are a channel member, you can vote on what that stream's going to be. If not, any tier channel membership gives you access to be able to vote on all polls for choosing our content. So if you guys are interested in that, it's not required, but it does greatly help the channel out, so any support is appreciated, and you can go ahead and vote on what I will be covering for a couple streams on the next week or so. So that's a nice little perk for anyone who does want to, but this content's still free for everybody forever, so don't spend money you can't afford, obviously. Man, he's still young? Wow. You said you really felt, yeah, you son of a gun. How many members do you have? We have the 5 gifted members from the Pens Canes game a while ago. So I've been sending it out there, trying to get that into the fold. So, we do have that. Not a requirement, obviously. Again, we're still a small channel, so I don't expect it, but it's always an option. Let's get yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We love seeing people make money on this channel, bro. We love seeing people make money off of their bets. Man, but yeah, we are just kind of rolling our way here. A great night of hockey. A great night of hockey overall. Just at the way things are wrapping up here. No, Dad's not a member. He is not a member. He doesn't even have a YouTube account. They're doing their 3 stars of the game. And Trevor Moore is the first star of the game. Makes sense considering he got the game winner. But yeah, after tonight's set of games, a lot kind of did go wrong, or did happen here. The Sharks condensing the standings in the Pacific Division, also for that wild card race. The Kings climbing themselves back into a wild card spot after tonight, jumping and leapfrogging the Nashville Predators, and playing the Predators tomorrow night in a big must-win game there. About 69 grams saying the Pirates suck before around 11:57 p.m. Eastern. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Man, but yeah, that was a great game tonight though. Like it really was an incredible game to watch, bro. It was awesome. Man, but I do think we are going to wrap up our coverage here briefly tomorrow night. Looking at our members only poll, it looks like we are leaning into the Toronto Maple Leafs and San Jose Sharks tomorrow night. It'll either be a 10 p.m. or a 10:30 p.m. game for tomorrow's stream, so make sure you guys stick around for that. Drop us out if you haven't already and ring the bell so you get notified. But yeah, apart from that, our next stream will be then. Then we do have the streaming schedule also released for the week of the 2nd all the way to the 8th. So make sure you guys check that out. And with that, amen RFK. I think I'm going to wrap this stream up here. So again, drop a like, drop a sub. Always appreciate it, man. Much love again to all audience today. Gaining 21 subs on Monday, another 13 or 12 today, man. Much love again to all audience. Glory be back to him as well for the growth in this channel. And with that, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out and have a good one.